All right, there we go. All right, hey, welcome. Yes, I'm using StreamYard today. I'm too lazy to do an OBS thing. I'm just going to do straight StreamYards for this particular stream because it's not that critical of a stream. It's just a continuation of kind of things that are going on. There's some new things that are being talked about, and I was like, okay, well, I'll just go live for a few minutes. Anyways, make sure you guys can hear me out there. Hi, Artistic Chill, Kimomaki, Misty, yay, April, and the rest of you. So, anyways, I'm going to put the link in the live chat if you guys want to join. Again, probably hopefully won't be a very long stream, but every time I say that, they go on for hours, and I apologize. Sorry, not sorry. Always so much to talk about, but this is a continuing saga of people using my name, and so I'm just going to be making a stream when I can on my days off, talking about people talking about me. I've asked them not to. They just for some reason won't, and they don't have to. I mean, this is YouTube. But look, if anybody wants to use my name for sensationalism and whatever, as they say, clicks and views, knock yourself out. Hey, I don't care. But get your facts right. Get your facts right. And so let's see here. How do I do this on the comments? I haven't used this program in ages. Oh, there we go. Why are you going so hard for her? Ignore the noise. I'm not at all. Matter of fact, actually, this is actually, I would say, soft commentary. I'm not actively going after nonsense in my life dependent on. I think if anything, it's very telling. I think the fact that she's bringing up very old stuff from years ago that she's being force fed by some ones is pretty notable. Do I take it personally? Not anymore. I couldn't care less because I don't do any of that stuff as far as like the YouTubers that much. I try to stream and I will have content, but I mean, as far as like streaming every day like I used to, yeah, obviously I can't do that. I can't have my 6, 7, 8 hour streams, and nor do I want to ever again. They were very long. But when it comes to people putting out misinformation from stuff that happened years ago, yeah, I'm probably going to address a little bit. So Becky, I guess, decided to use my name without using my name. I don't get it. She puts a tweet on a screen. If you guys watch it, I'm not going to show the video. I have it here, but it's just irrelevant. But she's showing a tweet that was retweeted by somebody named Truth Hurts, I think, and I don't even remember who they were. Nor do I really care. But it was on Uniroc, and it was basically something along the lines of, this is Uniroc's pattern. Uniroc doesn't care to get his facts straight, which is absolutely true. There was some talk about his Navy status, or his military status, his Army status, which I don't know why nonsense is digging into. That has been so thoroughly went over by many other people. What is it that she has to add to that discussion? What is it that nonsense has to add to what we already know about Jason lying about his military service? Yes, he went in. Yes, he was in the service, but he has also said that he was medevaced out from Iraq. He said he was medevaced out from Afghanistan. He said that he had a helo training accident. All these stories are incongruent with each other. He showed a partial DD-214. It was highly redacted and other things. And somebody had said that the image was for his cousin. So yeah, we know that the story is questionable. Who cares? We know he uses veteran status for a defense. He thinks because he's a victim, or a veteran, that anybody talking about him makes him into a victim. He calls that vet bashing. That is not vet bashing. But she was talking about his veteran status. And of course, my name comes up because he had brought up the fact that I served 3 tours over in Desert Storm, Desert Shield. And so, another veteran calling him out, we can do that. And Becky's using all this content with my name again without using my name. And again, I'm trying to figure out why. There's a reason for that. There's a reason why she's picking videos that deal with Uniroc that have my name in it. It's not coincidental. If she's sitting there telling people that she wants nothing to do with me or the people that associate with me or the great debate community or any of that, why is she intentionally every single stream using something that has my name involved in it? Can somebody tell me? Anybody? I'm kind of curious. Now, I have my suspicions, but it's definitely not coincidental. And one of the other things she had brought up was the fundraisers. Yes, the infamous fundraiser sheets that, of course, she has no idea what she's talking about. The Great Debate community was predicated upon helping people. Yes, we helped people. If people needed a bed, we helped get them a bed. If people needed travel stuff, we helped them with that. If people needed accommodations, we helped them with that. I've donated a lot of money to people over the years. And so has other people. That was part of the community's reach out program that we kind of just helped other people. We've been doing that for a long time. Res Rhetoric was part of that. And so she shows a spreadsheet, that's, oh, look at all these fraudulent fundraisers. Yet not one single fundraiser was shown to be fraudulent besides Moon. People can question Son Hufford's one. And look, I'm not going to be able to convince anybody if that was fraudulent or not. I am convinced that it wasn't fraudulent. I'm not a fan of Sean. I think what Sean did was screwed up. I think he did mislead people, but that was after the fact. The money did go at least to help him and his in need. So yeah, I don't consider that at all a fraudulent fundraiser. But if you do, okay, I don't really care. I never had any really association with Sean. That was always through Reds, and Reds distanced himself from Sean after Sean lied to the community. Real fraudulent there. And then the other fundraisers, they're talking about, well, Red's got a camera. Yeah, Reds does rocket launch things. His subs help buy him a camera. They help pay for equipment, just like they do with the Non Sequitur show. They help Kyle get equipment. Just like I've helped people get microphones and equipment. This is how YouTube works. But that spreadsheet, not a single solitary one of them was any kind of fraud. But yeah, of course people help people in the community. How is that something to be even dug up, Becky? Why would you even dig that up? What do you think that those show, other than people were helping people? People that knew about this back in the day knew when somebody had need, we would help them out. I have sent money to people, that living in their cars. I mean, I have one friend was like, I'm living in my car. I have no money to even get food. I'm like, here's $50. And I mean, do we go around broadcasting that all the time? No. But, you talk about these fraud, quote, fraud ragers, yet you haven't shown any of them are fraudulent. Uniroc sure didn't. Now Nonsense, I think, was agreeing with that. I mean, I will give Nonsense a little bit of credit. She's going after Uni hard, and she's using anything to get to him, even though a lot of it's involving my name, which I think is trying to kill two birds with one stone, so to speak. But she is recognizing that Uniroc never brings receipts, never brings evidence. He never showed any of those things were fraudulent. In fact, every time somebody had a fundraiser, it went to where it was supposed to go. If Res Rhetoric had a fundraiser to get a P1000 camera, guess what he got? A P1000 camera. Why does he care what his subscribers spend their money on? If I like content, I'll spend money. If I like somebody's video, I will donate. I'll PayPal. I'll become a Patreon, whatever it is, But that's how YouTube works. People have had many GoFundMes, and I've donated to quite a few of them, and I got burned just like anybody else. I donated to the whole Moon thing. I got burned on that for $25, but I got refunded. So why is Becky bringing this up now? Yeah, I mean, the only other real fraudulent fundraiser was exactly what you said there with that lawyer. LOL, raising money for Kyle when it's proved he forged documents. That was a fraudulent fundraiser that Uniroc was pushing. He wanted to get Kyle a lawyer because Kyle lied about having a lawyer. Boy, that's not familiar. There's a lot of coincidences here. A lot of what's the word? Karma coming back. Because one, Kyle did not have a lawyer when the whole non sequitur case started. He said he did, but he didn't. He lied. And then you have Uniroc saying he has a lawyer, familiar lawyer or whatever. Doesn't sound like anybody on retainer. Doesn't sound like he has any kind of contract with any kind of lawyer. But he says he has a lawyer, which I don't think he does. And he got, basically not so much served at his mom's house, but he had a cease and desist delivered at his mom's house, and Kyle got served at his mom's house. There's a little bit of a coincidence here. Obviously, that wasn't planned. But as far as Nonsense talking about this stuff, this is not coincidence. Absolutely not coincidence. Missy says 99% sure this is a distraction without username tells me so. And username tells me so. I'm not quite sure what yet. I am not either. There's going to be more about stuff that Nonsense is going to be talking to me about. Why? Why is she talking about me? And again, I am fine having a response video to people like Nonsense because I've never had a conversation with her. There's no personal vendetta or anything like that. Uniroc I'll never talk to. right? And I don't make response videos to him. He can say whatever the hell he wants. I'm not going to make a response video. There's something personal there because he went out of his way to try to cause harm to me. And we were friends at one time. That's a big thing. You know, we were friends at one time, and friends who try to hurt me, I want nothing to do with. I don't know anything about nonsense. You know, we were never friends, not even remotely so. I've never talked to the woman. So I'm just doing a response video like anybody else would. Oh, hey, they're talking about you, Steve. They're saying this. Okay, well, let me address this. Misty says, Steve, I have a question. You think Kyle is in his ear? No. Part of me believes he's trolling around the scenes, but that's just an assumption. I don't think so. No, this doesn't sound like Kyle. Kyle's too much of a narcissist. He would want people to know it's him. He would want to be around. Now, whoever these people are, it is in the group of the Keons, the Pork Chops, the Shens, that particular group, Clarissa the Worm. It has to be involved with them somehow. And of course, them bringing up the whole Nat and Estella and Erica thing. That there's no other explanation. They're the only people that had any real connections to those people. And then they're trying to say, oh, it's Steve's group that has connections to them. Really? Okay. Why is it that the only connection I had with Erica was when she came to me to show me, quote, her evidence that she got a restraining order on Katie, and I told her I can't verify this. I put a tweet out. I can't verify this. I said the only thing I can verify is there's a filing, but I can't verify it was served. And I got emails from her going, it was served. It was served. Here's the evidence. It was served. And the evidence she was giving me was not evidence. It was served. I know what a service looks like. I've been through that before. I know exactly what I should expect if there was proper service. I never saw proper service on Katie Joy, and I never said there was. This is what I said. There's no way to go into that filing and see that it was served properly. And it wasn't, by the way, I don't think. But, then you had nonsense in the video saying, Steve helped Erica get her RO against Katie Joy. I think that's the exact words she used. Isn't it? Is that exactly what she said? Somebody remind me, but I'm pretty damn sure that's pretty much what she said verbatim. That, Steve helped Erica get the RO on Katie Joy. Well, there was never an RO on Katie Joy that I know of. This is different Kyle. Yeah, obviously. And so where did she get that fun fact from? Anybody know? Because I have no idea where Nonsense got this idea in her head that somehow I helped Erica get an RO that didn't exist when I even tweeted out, I can't verify this. This is what I mean by historical revisionism. Somebody who I had literally nothing to do with, somebody who came to me saying, hey, you might have interest in this kind of stuff, which people do. And then when I asked her, okay, but I need to make sure that this is factual stuff. I got to have evidence that she was served. I got bump kiss. And then again, she's emailing me. And of course, I don't respond to her. So she gets nothing out of me. But what was the last email she said? She said it was served and she sent me some silly attachment. Here, I'll even show you. I don't even care. Whatever. Let me see here. Well, I don't put an email, but this is the attachment she showed me. One sec. How can I? Let me see if I can screen share this. Present window. No, I don't. Let me try something else. One sec. How do I download this? Here we go. Give me a second here. All right, there we go. This is what she sent me, and yes, this did come from the judicial branch or whatever. All right, can you guys see that? Or is it not showing it? Oh, there you go. All right, so this is all she sent me. That there's a filing. Yeah, I know there's a filing. And served Kathy Joy Paulson, but that's just a filing. There was nothing with that copy that showed it was served to her that I found. And again, maybe she did. I don't know. But my thing was I couldn't verify, regardless of whether she got an RO on Katie or not. I couldn't verify she got that, and I even tweeted it out that I can't verify that. So, yeah, if you guys could check more into that, by all means, go for it. But this to me is not evidence that she was served. It's just that the filing status was there, but I don't think I have no proof that there was an actual paper given to her by the sheriff's department, and because there's no file attached, this file I have no idea what this file even was. So that's all I got from her. But I need a little bit more than that. And so why would nonsense say that I helped Erica get a restraining order that I couldn't even verify existed? Again, she just can't get her basic facts right. Oh, there you go. Sorry that. Yeah, it's a little confusing there. Let's see what else? Let's see. You think now Katie is to a degree, but this is more than Katie. This is the caters. This is definitely people that want to take out a bunch of people at one time. Uniroc has already shot himself proverbially in the foot with a metaphysical RPG. Yeah, he's tanking hard because he's not just quadrupling down; he's like sextupling down. And he had the chance, I think, one time to apologize to Queen Bee, and perhaps Queen Bee would have accepted it. She seems a little gracious, and it would be very magnanimous for her to have done so. But I think that's well past that point. I think that even if he groveled to her, she would probably tell him to piss off, and as well as she should. But he had his chance, and I did watch his video, and I will tell you that's the first time I've watched one of his videos in very, very, very long time. It was 49 minutes long. That's how much I remember his video, because it was 49 minutes long, a pure, unadulterated, bloviating nonsense, for lack of a better word. He absolutely said nothing of relevance to the fact that he lied to a community of people about the cease and desist. He touched on it a little bit. He tried to just go on to some other topic when it came to Boogie and Boogie's fight. I would like to talk to Boogie about that one of these days too. I mean, Boogie actually knows me. I mean, Boogie follows me, and he doesn't follow a lot of people, and he did like the Non Sequitur show. But one of these days, I've reached out to him before and talked to him a little bit, but one of these days I'm on as a guest, maybe after the fight. But he basically was trying to spin it like he always does, because he'll never admit to lying. He can't admit to lying. That's to him would be unconscionable. And typically pathological liars are not going to admit to lying. They'll just come up with more lies, and they'll just compound that with more lies. So he was saying that, he just misunderstood what his mom said. It wasn't a handwritten letter. It was only the envelope that was handwritten. He was still being doxxed, of course. And it was not just the cease and desist that doxxed him. It was the, I guess, fact that JLR had sent him PayPal money, from what I understand. He sent him PayPal, and I guess it was for an interview. But for some reason, if you send somebody a PayPal, that's now doxing them, according to Uniroc. Unfortunately for Uniroc, 99% of the people on YouTube have been around for a while who are doing commentary, who are doing videos, and they know what doxing is, and they know what doxing is not. What happened to him was not doxing in any way, shape, or form, in any way you stretch it, any way you twist it, any way you push, pull, contort it to the breaking point. There's nothing that had happened to him that was even remotely construed as doxing. Yet he has to run that persecution complex narrative in order to justify him lying to Queen Bee and her subscribers. There's no other way around that. He has to put it on him about, what about me? This is something that Katie Joy did all the time. But what about me? Yeah, this happened, but what about me? They both did this. Narcissists always do that. Now, I understand we've all had issues, and yeah, I bring it back to me a lot, and I will be like, yeah, this crap happened to me. I get that. That is something always people will call out on me, because it's like, well, Steve, things happen to other people too. Yeah, and look, and I get that, and I talk about those other things too. But what happened to me was very, very egregious, very, very long, and it was the catalyst for all this stuff. I mean, seriously, if the Non Sequitur show had not broken up the way it did, and if I didn't have the issues with the Great Debate community, none of these people would have been affected. It's sad, but that is the causal chain. That is the event that took place that from there, everything kind of just fell apart, and you have these people taking advantage of it. They're doing that again 3 years, 4 years later. The people talking to nonsense are giving her old information that has already been vetted and researched and gone through, determined to be absolute bullshit, and she doesn't care in any way, shape, or form. Because whatever her goal is, it is somehow to attach my name to it. Why would she make a video today talking about Uniroc? And of all the videos that Uniroc has done, he's done hundreds and hundreds of videos about me and thousands, 1,000 videos on his own or whatever. He's done a lot of videos. Why did she pick the video that has a tweet that is retweeted and my name mentioned in on it? And why did she talk about these GoFundMes and fundraisers that were meant to help people? When I had my super chat drive for Leslie, that was seriously, well, there's two things. There was one, seriously, I felt she was screwed over by Katie Joy. I wanted her to have some kind of income because I knew she was losing income rapidly because she couldn't stream. And that was, a primary source of income for at least her. I know obviously her husband worked, but she was using that money. And so I wanted to do something nice. And also, yes, I knew it pissed off Katie Joy. Absolutely. I don't hide that, because I wanted Katie Joy to know that she's not going to go around bullying people. And Leslie did raise, got some money from me. We got about $530 some odd dollars in super chats and another, I think, $500 after that. So she did okay. How is that fraudulent? Uniroc saying, well, it was fraudulent because Katie Joy didn't do this, this, and this. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. The evidence is overwhelming that Katie Joy had asked for people to get trolls to go mass flag my channel and Leslie's channel. And you can say, well, mass flagging doesn't work. It did back then, and I think it still does some capacity. But the fact was, a lot of people were scouring stuff to try to go cancel Leslie Bass, the same way they did with Molly Golightly. Same type of coordinated attack. You have all these content creators trying to find TOS violations to go cancel someone. That's been something that Uniroc and Katie Joy are infamous for. Let's see here. She did not connect it to you at all. You're one whipped up of a mess. And Steve, well, how did she not connect it to me? The tweet literally had my name on it, KCG. The tweet literally had my name in the tweet. It was retweeted by me. The spreadsheet of the fundraisers has my name on that. What are you talking about? He says, I usually follows Aaron's lead, but I think that you are making this something it isn't. How? Please come on in. Explain to me how. When she's going out of her way to find content that is from Uniroc that explicitly has to deal with me, please come on in and tell me how I'm erroneously connecting this to me. I will love to hear your argument on it. And I'll hear you out. I'll give you a fair thing. Ice her out. What does that mean? What? Again, people comment on things. I only get a few days to stream, and I pick a lot of different topics. Some people like the philosophy stuff. Some people don't. I will do philosophy stuff for the philosophy people. I'll do this for the people that want this content. But if she's going to mention me, I have the right to respond. Sometimes I will, sometimes I won't. I won't respond to Uniroc because I the personal reasons there, and I have other people that will take care of that. And by the way, I never did ask them for that. They do that on their own accord. But they all hate Uniroc so badly, like I do, that they're going to, like, even nonsense, is for some reason actively trying to just go after and drag Uni. And absolutely, she should. I have no problem with that. Uni deserves that. But they were so closer than her and Uni and I were, probably because she was getting all her information from Uniroc. There was something that this switch where she's like, oh, I'm going to go after him. And maybe this was planned. Maybe they both want to go after each other, because that's what he asked me to do. He's like, you can criticize me and make a video about me, and I'll make a video about you. We all know that's how his game's played. Maybe he did that with nonsense. I have no idea. But it is more than coincidental that everything nonsense keeps bringing up involves my name. Why? So KCG, please answer that question. Misty, who's been around a very long time, says, I was in the live when you had the EB and dollar from the stream, and you decided within the first couple minutes. Ellie was correct there. She only knew when she got there. 100% true. Which, again, nonsense has no idea of the historical Facts of the matter. I suggested it to my audience. I went over to Leslie's stream on Instagram. I brought it up to her. It was very quickly. We came over, we did a stream. Leslie did not instigate it. Leslie had no foreknowledge of it. Anybody who says otherwise is 100% categorically lying. And I guarantee they'll never produce any evidence of otherwise, because that is exactly what happened. People that had been around know that. It was my idea. And yes, I did like helping people. One of the things we really did like was trying to raise money for people that needed it. And this is something that Uniroc and Katie Joy cannot wrap their head around. This is why I think they all wanted to think these fundraisers were so bad, is because nobody gives a crap about them enough to support them, to do some of the things that have been done to people that have actual content, to give them, equipment, to give them support, to join their Patreons, to join their membership channels, to do PayPal, to do super thanks, or say super thanks and super chats. Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure, Uniroc gets all those from people, no doubt. It's mostly PayPal, obviously. But if he would have a fundraiser for his lawyer right now, nah, not a dime would be probably raised. Katie Joy just tried to do another fundraiser, and I don't think she raised any money. And there was questionable fundraisers. If you remember, Katie Joy, in her lawsuit against me, said that I falsely accused her of doing fraudulent fundraisers, which was not the case. What I said was they were highly questionable because here's facts and evidence. When she did the fundraiser for the Ronald McDonald Clearinghouse, or Charity House, Ronald McDonald Clearinghouse. I think I conflated something there. Ronald McDonald's Charity House. Not only did she not get permission from them, which you have to do if you do a fundraiser for them, but she put it to her own personal PayPal. Big no-no. The reason why you don't do charities and put the PayPal information for your own information rather than something directly linked to the charity is because then you can get all the money, either abscond with it, or you can donate it and do it as a tax write-off, which is cheesy. Yeah. Yep. Nonsense is you brought Steve's name up, therefore he's responding. Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. I mean, she keeps bringing my name up, and then she doesn't want to have anything to do with me. Okay, that's fine. Don't have anything to do with me. Stop talking about me, and I have no reason to fix your historically inaccurate information. Right? I mean, I couldn't care less about this person. But when she's saying misinformation at the same time, Uniroc is getting dunked on. Yeah, I'm gonna jump on that because I want the correct information to be out there, because there have people that have been around that know nonsense is full of it. The nonsense is not fact checked. Misty here is absolutely one of them. She's been around. She was there. She knows nonsense has no clue what she's talking about on any of the fundraiser stuff or any of the stuff that happened with Leslie Bass. She knows nothing. Nothing. Anybody who's telling her stuff is getting stuff wrong. Katie also went on to say she never accused you of SH, which we all know was bullshit. She has told 5 lies of that story, at least. I think you're being conservative. I think I counted 6 last time. I was thinking in my head, I was like, well, let's see, before stream, during stream, after stream, Twitter, phone call. Yeah, okay, this is 5 right there. Okay, there's at least 5 right there. I remember there's probably being more, but there was definitely it was happened during a stream, before a stream, after a stream, on a private phone call, on Twitter, and there was something else too. She said, and I'm not remembering it. Oh yeah, she also said it was frequent. Yeah, frequent. Okay, really? Wait, in the U.S., you can do an unauthorized fundraiser and file that under donation and get a tax cut? Apparently so. Yeah, well, I mean, think about this. If she was raising money for Ronald McDonald's charity houses and they didn't even know about it, because again, they have to authorize it. Go read their thing on charities. They have to authorize the fundraiser. She can get all the money, then donate it to Ronald McDonald and say, oh, look, I donated all this money, and then write it off on her taxes as a tax deduction. Yeah, absolutely. That's America. America. Casey G says, I have been in every single step of this. I've seen it get further and further from trying to get Letitia some sort of peace. Where were you before that, Casey G? I'm talking about years before Letitia. I'm going back to 2015. this has been about 8 years worth of drama and stuff, way before Letitia came into the picture. And you're right. It morphed past the whole Yvonne McCrae story morphed only because Katie Joy got her field fees hurt and she enlisted the help of Uniroc and of course Nonsense. They were all jumping on that bandwagon to go after Letitia. It was myself and Aaron and Veda and a few other people who were like, hey, no, this is just a mom who wants to go see her kid. And Veda was very active in trying to help Letitia. And of course, there was the other people out there who were saying they were trying to help the situation, but did nothing to help the situation. All they did was accuse people of doing shady stuff. That's the only thing that group did. They didn't give a damn about Marvon. They're not even vets. What interest did they have? The only interest they had with that story is because Molly Golightly got involved with it. That's it. That's the only reason. If Molly Golightly had not gotten involved in that story, there would be no Nonsense. Yeah, so Molly gets booted off her platform. Letitia was slandered, lost her home, and people are tired. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that means so far, yeah. America. I like that. America. Guns, girls, and Bud Light. America. KCG, we have been trying to keep Nonsense to the fire because she did wrong, and that's all gone sideways. Well, it hasn't really. I think Nonsense is being called out left and right. I think there's a lot of channels that are just saying, hey, Nonsense, you're not getting stuff right. Even the OGs, even like Bobby the Cat, who definitely has some inside knowledge, was calling her out because the people that have been around the longest, like myself, know the historical details of what have happened. I have the facts and I have the receipts to back that up too. Nonsense has none of that. One, she's never came to me as a primary source, so she can't have any of the actual evidence. So I think like Renelle Smith did an amazingly good video on Nonsense. Go watch Renelle's last video. She's a gem. I think if anything, she's overly kind. She's one of those people that always thinks people can change. They can course correct. I love Renelle to death. I just happen to vehemently disagree with her on that. I think there are people that are psychological and pathological that will never course correct. Uniroc's one of them. Katie Joy's another one. Nonsense is another one. They won't course correct. But, God bless Renelle for thinking that, right? I mean, it makes her endearing. I think it's one of her better qualities that she does try to look on the good parts of people. And I think she comes from a good place. I think when she's calling Nonsense out, she really does want Nonsense to change. And it's not just lip service. Do I think that maybe deep down she realizes Nonsense isn't going to? Yeah, Renelle's not an idiot. Renelle's a very brilliant woman. But, she does her, empathy. Her empathy comes out. She does her whole want people to change things, do better kind of things. Here's how you can go about doing better. Take my advice, don't take my advice. And she's upfront with that. Got to respect that. Let's see here. Oh, look who came in here. We got some names here. I've been since 2019. I'm OG Cater follower. Well, yeah, but here's the thing. I'm talking before then. I'm the OG Katie person. Katie came from my channel. Katie was my co-host. Katie would not have had a channel if one wasn't from my producer. It was my producer from the Non Sequitur show that actually showed Katie how to stream. And then she shat on him as well. So I am way more OG than that. Booty Shots. Hi, Booty Shots. Good to see you. She says, Nonsense sure has a lot to say about you. Geez, yeah, without saying about me. Why is that? Why is she has a lot to say about me without even mentioning my name? It's so passive aggressive. It is so backhanded. That's Becky, passive aggressive. Oh, I'm not going to talk about Steve. I don't want to know anything about Steve. Oh, let me tell you all about Steve. Oh, I'm not going to talk about Steve. Oh, but this tweet mentions Steve's name. I mean, it is passive aggressive as hell. And I know I'm not the only one that notices this. There's no possible way that I'm the only one that notices that Becky is probably one of the most passive aggressive people I've ever met or seen. I've never really met her, but seen. There's only one person I know more that's passive aggressive than her, and that was something from way in my past on the Great Debate community. But other than that, she's probably the second most passive aggressive person I think I've ever met or ever ran into. Who does that? I don't want to talk about this person. Let's talk about this person. Oh, I don't want to even know anything about this person. And then proceeds to mislead people about me and say that, oh, I helped Erica get her RO on Katie Joy, which still can't verify exists or not. which I had nothing to do with. And if anybody wants me to come in private, I'll show you my messages between Erica and I. I'll show you our Twitter DMs. I give you my word. If you come to me, and I know you, obviously, I'm not some troll that I know, but I mean, if you come to me in good faith and you want to see my private messages with her, because people know I don't make things public. Although with her, I don't mind making things public. She's a well-known troll. We know she BS'd, and she has no expectation of privacy because she said I can share anything from her. But I'd rather do it in private if I can. It's just still my nature. But if you want to see my conversations with Erica, ask me. The only caveat I have is if you do, I expect in return you go on Twitter and tell people exactly what you saw and that it was exactly what happened. In your own words. I'm not telling you what to say, but just that you verified it. And then if people think that I should make it public, I will. Because Erica, she doesn't care. She said before, everything I put out that she gives me or gave me. I haven't talked to her in ages. What do you guys think? Do you guys think I should do it publicly or just privately? I really don't know, to be honest with you. I generally I don't like making private conversations public, even with somebody as dishonest as Erica. It's just something I avoid doing. I mean, clearly I'd be justified, and clearly nobody would care, including Erica, right? I mean, she doesn't care whether we put out our conversations with her, but it's just I don't know. To me, it just irks me. But I'll let you guys give me feedback on that. But yeah, where's Nonsense getting this idea that I helped Erica with her RO? That was an outright lie. That wasn't even a distortion of the truth. That was just a lie. So, ask Aaron Veda. I've been watching this. They are off the rails. Okay. Yeah, I believe you. I have followed Steve for a while. What's going on now? Well, follow along. Misty, I was also in the live when Uni turned on you. If I remember correctly, he had something specifically about Kyle. You said, no, that's not true. He wanted to run narrative and flip straight to Katie. There was a couple things that he was going to go live about that he got his facts wrong with. And honest to God is my witness. I can't even remember one or two of them. I remember one of them was something to do with Katie Joy. But the other ones that he was going to run with, I just cannot remember. And so I don't really want to dive into that because if I can't remember, somebody's going to say, oh, look, Steve said this then and then this now. And I don't want that to happen. But I definitely was misinformation. I remember that very specifically because I was just like, look, you're going to go lie to your audience about this stuff. And he just didn't care. I remember very specifically. He's just like, well, people still watch kind of stuff.
I definitely wouldn't want anyone to fuck with Kyle outside of court stuff, and I haven't seen you ever do that.
Not once. No, I've never met the man, and
but obviously there's litigious stuff that you were justified in doing, but that wasn't intrusive or you weren't being an ass.
No, everything I did was for legal reasons. Absolutely, yeah. But
I don't blame you because it's you built this little community and stuff like that, and he kind of tried to take some of that stuff from you, so that's totally justified. It's I joked about it before. The whole Pop Squad thing.
was that the pew pew?
When they thought you were trying to assassinate people.
Yeah, it's and guess who was running that narrative? That was Uniroc. Uniroc had brought up, it's like there's a car backfire, and all of a sudden I'm freaking shooting up Kyle's house with a pew pew or something. It's like where did this come from? I mean, again, you got to remember, Uniroc knows what he's saying is a yarn. He throws a story out there, right? And he just says, okay, if somebody is going to be dumb enough to believe this, and you got to realize the people that he has left following him have got to be the dumbest of the dumb.
There's probably a good amount of people who would buy into that. Otherwise he wouldn't be gathering a following and stuff like that. There's probably a lot of kids who are on mommy or daddy's iPad and they're watching that stuff and they believe it.
I can't imagine it'd be that many. I really can't.
I mean,
I think they all know
maybe
it's
not all
BS.
kids, but like still like gullible people.
They just want a story. I think it's a story time to them. I think it's a story time. Hi, Ozian. What's up, Steve? I hope you're enjoying your life and enjoying just seeing these clowns. I do. Here's the thing. I don't really enjoy it that much as you think. I do enjoy putting out correct information that people have now realized is correct, and that people like Nonsense who just lie to people for whatever reason she has, whatever her agenda is, because I don't think it's for money. I don't even think it's for clicks and views. I think Nonsense has a much bigger agenda. But yeah, it's nice that people can now go to and look at what Nonsense says or Uniroc says and go, oh, yeah, they were completely lying. No kidding. Yeah, it's shocker on that. So yeah, I guess in that regard. And of course, what about Bull? Yes, somebody that was a huge loss to me and the people around me.
I think I know that person. I'm not really sure though.
That was my producer.
Oh yeah.
That's the one that sensationalized and said that I literally killed him, that I murdered him for some reason. That they do that because obviously they know I cared about him, and they're like, okay, what's the worst thing we can say about Steve?
Was it
hurt him?
Bolinator?
Yeah, Bolinator.
Yeah. He was. When I was doing stuff with Pimp Monk, yeah, I remember him being around there, and I was like, "Holy shit, he's dead! Really? Like, that's horrible."
Yeah, well, he passed of natural causes, and fortunately, it wasn't.
It's very very unfortunate. I never had a problem with the guy. I was always on good terms with him.
I love the guy. I mean, I will never forget the phone call that I got. I mean, I could tell you exactly when I was. I mean, it was just, I was in shock. I was in shock. I mean, it just, I couldn't process
just
it.
like what he wasn't that old, like as far as I know. So like, yeah, it's pretty. That sucks that happened to him.
So tell me, the people that stuck around Bull and signed off on this, like Navy Text, explain to me how they signed off on this whole narrative that I harmed Bull. There was some things they did get right, believe it or not, about his computer and things of that nature, but they got the details wrong. But his family wanted his computer taken care of and destroyed because of personal things of that nature. And so that was a blind.
Like aside, you're involved.
Right. Do me a favor though, and I mean this with all sincerity. You're talking about somebody that I cared about a lot, and you're laughing, and it's rubbing me the wrong way, and I don't mean to be disrespectful. But
I'm laughing because of the ridiculousness. Because I can't think of a single person who had anything bad to say about Bull.
Nobody did. Bull was well loved.
Except, he was cool.
Except they didn't care about that. Except that they wanted to harm me, and the way to go about doing that was to say the most egregious things. I mean, you have to remember, somebody from that camp, which we know exactly who it was, who somebody Uniroc was promoting, called Bull's coroner, and tried to get them to convince them that he was murdered.
That shit's fucking disgusting.
That's some sick shit. And these are the same people that were calling Frank Perlato Jr. to say Steve ran an atheist sex cult. They've been trying to LARP on me for years. And Nonsense has bought into some of this stuff hook, line, and sinker, because she's not just an idiot, she's dishonest, and she doesn't care about the facts. That's the point. Missy says,
first of all, as far as going after you, they're not doing a very good job. You're not going to get canceled. These people are canceling themselves.
Well, that's what we figured. I mean, look, the reason, okay, I don't even remember, but way back in the Great Debate community several years ago, we all got together as a community, and this was when the community was pretty big. We would get like 1,000 people, watching kind of stuff. We had a much bigger community, and we had a decision we had to make, and the decision was we were not going to give Uniroc any attention. We were not going to talk about it. We were going to starve him, and we did for a very, 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 very long time. And in that time, he grew. And in that time, he went to other communities and did exactly what he did to me and other people. And unfortunately, it's one of those things that if you don't put sunlight as a disinfectant on this stuff, it'll spread. And it's a hard decision to make. Do you feed the trolls or do you address it in sunlight? It really is difficult to make that determination of when to speak out and when not to. And I made the decision not to talk about him until recently, when I saw him doing the exact same thing to Queen Bee, knowing full well that his flying monkeys would come after me. But that's when I started speaking up again. Everybody who follows me knows that.
And we discussed this when you had Blue on, where it's like, why can't these fucking people find something else to do with their time? You could talk about anything.
Because they're doing it for an agenda. They're doing it for an agenda. And by the way, how did Misty get timed out?
But it sucks. Like, come on. Like, there's so many things that could draw views, that you could discuss. Nickelodeon shows, or
I
like
have no interest in this.
old
I do
movies
philosophy.
or whatever.
No, but that's for them. I like doing the anti-flat earth or anti-younger creationist or philosophy or science, and I like doing the interviews, and I like having people on and discussing, their
Absolutely.
professional stuff. That's what I enjoy doing. I never got into the real, I never got into the crime stuff. Never got into the. I know a lot of people love the serial killer stuff. I don't deal with any of that stuff. I have my own little niche that I carved out for myself, especially when it came to the whole,
It'd be kind of hard. It'd be kind of hard to break into the serial killer stuff because there's so many people who have millions of views that you'd have to be contending with.
Not my shtick, not my thing,
Yeah, fucking Rob and a bunch of other people. There's lots of people that are already doing it. So, I get what you're saying.
Why did Misty get accidentally timed out? Sorry, Misty, I didn't do that. I don't know. I think that was friendly fire.
It was me. I was hacking her Twitter.
Miss says yes. I can't remember the specific details, but I do know it was misinformation. Yeah, and unfortunately, like I said, I don't remember either. And I have a pretty decent memory, but some specifics elude me. Maybe I'll have to go back and rewatch the video that I did, and maybe that'll jar my memory. And I do remember it again being something to do with. I knew it was Katie Joy. I know one thing specifically, but when it came to Kyle, I don't remember what the other things were. And I'm sure it was probably something important, because again, that's the reason why I stopped talking to Uniroc. I was like, dude, you're just dishonest. And yet I discovered that early on. People are discovering that now. What does that say for the people that stuck between him, or stuck with him between that time between him? What does that say for the people that from the time I made that post on A Story of a Troll, Uniroc, in 2019 to today? What does that tell you about those people? I saw that he was lying. Other people saw that he was lying. Now they're also upset. Oh my God, you broke my heart. You lied. He's been doing that for years. Where the hell have you been? It's freaking ridiculous. I have no sympathy for any of the people that have been around for years that were buying into his BS. None, absolutely none. The people that originally did, that saw through it, good on them. I did too, and I left. Moderate extremist, good on him. He left. PJ, even PJ's Secret Diary, who I can't stand. She's a sea-lying bitch. She came to me and she asked me for information for hours on end, and then at the entire time was dumping what I was telling her.
What, really?
I swear to God, as my witness.
Don't ask for other people's fucking information.
She was asking about the non sequitur show stuff, and I was telling her, like, I do with anybody. I give them a ton of information, and she was just mocking it in a Discord, live when I was doing this. And I'm like, how dare you? How dare you? I'm telling you the stuff that you're asking me about, and I'm giving you facts in good faith that you're an honest interlocutor. And all she was doing was sea-lying me to mock me in Discord. PJ Secret Diary is not an honest person, but she did get the facts right with Uniroc only because she saw it firsthand and goes, oh, I can make some content out of this. And then she got with Moderate Extremist, who is an honest guy, and he had a lot to say. If you want to know about Uniroc, go find Moderate Extremist. That dude knows some stuff.
All right, I'm looking it up right now.
But that's why he left.
That's really shitty. I just want everyone to be honest. I'm too stupid to lie as much as these people, I guess. Or maybe I'm just I don't know, but come on, man, just be yourself.
Well, they're pathological.
Don't fucking lie to people.
This is what I'm saying. If I'm such a horrible liar that nonsense says I am, okay, then why is it every time I stream, I'm like, please tell me what I lied about? Nobody ever does. Nobody ever says you lied about something. They'll make something up, or they'll talk about something that happened years ago that they got wrong. But nobody says Steve said this. This was a lie. Here's all the evidence for the lie, and I'll be like, oh, let me address this if that ever happens. But it hasn't happened.
Yeah, being wrong on something is very different from like intentionally lying.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Like
I
I'm wrong on stuff all the fucking time,
Yeah,
but like I'm not trying to lie to anybody.
yeah. No, I guarantee that sometimes there have been stuff that I got wrong, but there's no intentional deceit there, and unfortunately, they're going to run with that. Obviously, oh well, he was wrong about this. Well, yeah, but I admitted it was wrong. I don't even know who Dolly Vision is. I keep hearing that name, and I hear it around. Here, let me show this one. I'm trying to catch up with my chat here. I keep hearing Dolly Vision. I don't really know anything about them. They're associated with Molly Golightly, but PJ, yeah, PJ, like I said, she was so dishonest, and I have a video on that somewhere. And I have, anybody again wants to come to me in private, I will show you my communications with PJ, why she was sea lying me, and how she was just dumping stuff into her Discord in real time, mocking it. That's not how you have an honest conversation. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll try not to anger you because I don't want one of your hit squads coming after me.
Yeah, you know the wrath of Steve, right?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, no, I
don't think you're intimidated.
I saw the show we did before that has pretty good views. Yeah, that was really funny. It was Steve's coming by with his jalopy and a bunch of Tommy guns.
My pew-pews. Yeah, it's so funny because it's like, man, they're making me out to be this like, like Superman kind of stuff. Yeah, man, don't mess with Steve, man. He's got powers.
Man, they're giving you a lot of credit. You run security at a department store.
I should be thrilled, right? I should be like appreciating the fact they think I'm such a badass, right?
Oh man, they're adding inches under your dick with those statements. It's like, come on, dude. Like, really, this guy? Like, come on. So, I'm the criminal here, not Steve.
Yeah, I got no record. People tried that route. They're like, oh, let's look up Steve's record. Nothing. Go figure.
Well, yeah, see, that's public. They could look it up if they wanted to.
Oh, everybody has. There's been so many people that have ran records checks on me. They found nothing, of course. It's a waste of time now because it's like, well, they already know somebody else has done it. So, but go knock yourself out. Spend $50-$100. Find out anything you want about me. It's nothing there. Steve Inver defended Kyle with certain narratives. As I was saying, he offered people to look at both sides to come at their own conclusions. 100%. Why would I want people lying about Kyle? I want the facts out there. Lying about people does not help anyone. If you have misinformation about somebody, even your enemy, fix it. Because
yeah, like I understand you had like Kyle has done some shady stuff or whatever. I don't hate the guy. I wouldn't ever want anything bad to happen to him because, like, what is that? How would that benefit me?
I want him to suffer greatly, though, but I'm just like that.
I mean, litigiously, I can understand that, but like, I don't want, I don't want anyone to hurt. Like, I just don't want that.
I would rather have Kyle be in mental anguish than physical. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, Bull was a gem.
Yeah, he probably should go through like therapy or something. I don't know exactly what his problems are. I know about the assaults and and stuff like that, but I just don't want anyone to hurt.
I agree. Yeah, that's fine. Like I said, physically no, but mentally sure. Misty says, Steve, I've forgotten about the comic guy. Yeah, PJ a comic nut. Once you brought that up, it was so much making sense. I think you're onto something. I think so too. I really do. It is no coincidence that Keon and Porkchop, who both ran the Gumby account if they got it from Mac Bauer.
Wait a second. Keon? I know that guy.
Yeah. He made a parody account from he got the original account from Matt Bauer, I believe. I think Matt just gave it to him because he was done. And at the time, Keon was, I guess, around. But I know, no. I'm sorry. I think he gave the original account to BJ Comic Nut, or did PJ Comic Nut make an alternate, trying to be a parody? I think what it was, again, Inception here, so don't quote me on this. But BJ Comic Nut had had a Gumby account that I think he was trying to be a parody of a parody, because the Gumby account was obviously parody. But Keon was running the Gumby account to try to mislead people to think he was Matt Bauer. He did it to me on my Instagram. He was faking being somebody else. This is facts and evidence. We know this. He was thrilled, that he was able to kill fool people.
I don't even I am so lazy that I can't imagine creating like fake accounts, because it's like I don't have fucking time if I wanted to. But like apparently they do. They sit around their fucking computer yelling at people on the internet.
Yeah, they not only have time, they continually do it. I see fake accounts pop up all the time. And then they project it. I've shown people my Twitter accounts. I don't have any fake Twitter accounts. I don't have any fake emails. I have one email that I use. Well, my non-sequitur. I have my Proton mail.
I have had the same exact name since I played Diablo 1 on PlayStation 1.
Yeah,
that's my moniker for like over a decade now.
Who has time to hide behind all these freaking fake things? Look, I put my real name out there. This is what a lot of people haven't quite figured out. I'm a target because I have my public information out there. A lot of these trolls hide behind their avatars, hide behind their keyboards, because they know they have anonymity.
A lot of them probably know a little bit more about your information than you think.
Oh, I have no doubt. Yeah, and what Uniroc and Kyle and Katie and the rest of them did to Poole after he passed was unforgivable. And I do hope they rot in hell for that. I really do. What they did was they went after one of the greatest people I've ever met. Poole was the nicest guy you ever wanted to meet. And he had fundraisers too. We helped him. We gave him money so he could survive. He didn't make a lot of money off the VA. So I would give him money for food, and Rez would help him for his apartment. And we would take care of Bull because he took care of us. And there was Kyle was saying, "Oh, I don't want to give him any money from the non-sequitur show." I'm like, "Well, give him 10%. Give him at least 10%."
That's some tragic shit, because like he was so nice to everyone that I knew.
Yeah, and Kyle treated him like shit. It's freaking unreal, man. Uni's disrespectful.
And I know what he did for Pimp Monk, and like he was, doing all the producing and stuff like that, and like he wanted to get me on his show, on Pimp's show, but like I was like, nah, I'm not ready. I'm not I wasn't like a YouTuber back then.
Yeah, he really wanted to help people. That was his big thing.
Yeah, he was always looking out for everyone around him.
Correct. Missy said Uni disrespects Bull and death, and therefore I have nothing to do with it. It shouldn't be just that because of that. There's many other reasons why nobody should have anything to do with the brute Uniroc. And this is what I'm saying. You know what's so funny? And I'm going to bring this up again. One of his mods, Dr. Misha Griffith, who I helped her get her channel, the history for History Unsettled. It was Misha Griffith who came on the Non Sequitur show that we took a liking to, and we helped her get started on YouTube, just like we did with many other people. Many people started their YouTube channels from the Non Sequitur show. This is a fact. Not only did she turn against me,
I'm sure there was a lot of people that jumped off from it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I'm the one that showed Misha how to even stream. I'm the one that showed her how to do OBS. When all this went down, the first thing she did was jump on Uni's ass and just kiss his ass like there was no tomorrow.
He's sucking the balls.
It's so funny because Dr. Misha Griffith has a PhD in history, and yet she doesn't recognize Uniroc is the king of historical revisionism. She's lost her freaking mind, and that she's one of his few mods left, still clinging onto this weird, bizarre delusion that Uniroc is the good guy. Never once thinking, are we the baddies? After what Bullinator helped her to, after what we did to help her, she shat on all of us just to suck up the Uniroc.
Took a big old steaming dump in your laps. Yeah, after you tried to help him.
I will never forgive that. I can never forgive that. And yet, what's so funny? She's still a mod for him, even after what he did to Queen Bee. And I don't understand.
Well, I mean, being a mod on a Discord
No, no,
Like
no, no, not Discord.
that's like toilet paper. That's a wipe away.
Okay, all you mod Discords, that was Rot Feast saying that, not me. No,
Well,
I'm talking about Discord channel mods.
not all the time, but I'm saying it's like it doesn't. Sometimes it's given out a little too freely. Um, I've seen it happen to a lot of communities where it just like it's like, come on, like why do you want to fuck them? Why did you give them this modern stuff? Like,
Someone asked me about Gumby account this the other day. I had to tell him I believe there was others because I remember Matt didn't use an account more. Yeah, I actually showed the emails. He said it was fine. It's all public stuff. Matt wanted me to put out that he was no longer having anything to do with the Gumby accounts. And I believe him. I 100% believe him. No question about it. He wanted nothing to do with it anymore. And so the Gumby account that keeps coming around on the nonsense channel, when you see Gumby in the live chat, that's Keon and or Porkchop. They both have Gumby accounts. They both share these things. There's seriously some misinformation going around because Gumby was one of the parody accounts of the parody account, because it's funny. The original parody account from Matt was funny, but people started using that to try to pretend to be Matt and making fake things about what was going on under the Gumby account. That was all Keon. That was Keon. That's facts and evidence.
that's definitely not cool, man. Once again, why can't these people find hobbies? Um,
Why
like
would they?
I
This is
do a
their
lot
hobby.
of I do a lot of gardening, and I take care of my lawn and
They
shit
want the
like that,
attention.
and like come on, just do something. I read books. I
Well, they
like
want
books.
they love the fact people listen to them, and it puts them in a sense of empowerment. They want to be held as some high regard, as if they're worth something that they're not worth, because they're putting out content that is wrong. If you're a content creator and you are doing something to entertain people or inform people and it's above board, absolutely do what you want to do. That is not what's happening with Uniroc and nonsense, though. Katie Choi,
I
they
mean,
don't put out content
like
just to put it out.
you can do some pretty crude stuff that's still entertaining. Like I did on my channel, I literally had a show that was all about dicks, and it was a joke because we weren't actually talking about penises. We were talking about dicks throughout history. Like people who were dicks, people who were named dicks. Like, come on, like figure out some other lane.
But you're missing the point. This is what they want to do for a reason. They are literally dragging up old stuff for a purpose. There's an agenda here.
Yeah, they want to piss people off. That's all they
No,
know.
no, it's more than that. No, it's not. That's too simple. There's something going on with this group, and they're projecting it on, like, oh, it's Steve and Aaron. Yet we're the ones going, hey, come over and talk to us. We'll share anything you want.
Why do they want people to be angry at them? Like that's
Have you seen nonsense? Nonsense lives in a perpetual state of anger. That girl is
I'm
freaking.
kind of afraid to see their content.
I don't think she's anything.
Honestly, I
From
think I'll
what I
just get
understand,
angry.
From what I understand, she's had no other content other than angry, angry, angry. Becky's angry. Becky's mad. Becky pissed off. That's all. That's her entire content. All she does is yell and scream, basically, and says how badass she is. You'll mess around with me. You'll see. You'll see. I don't want anything to do with you guys. I'm going to talk about you 24/7.
She's the drunk one, right?
No, I don't think she's. No, I don't know if she even drinks.
Yeah, well, just yelly then.
She's yelly. Yeah, she's histrionic. She's over the top performance. And it's so funny. This last video that I watched the other day, not the one today that I just happened to see. It was a short one, but the one yesterday, especially if you go back and list and watch her facial expressions, they have this little uptick, this little smile, this little duper's delight all over the place when she starts saying things as if she knows she's lying and putting it over on somebody. She has that same duper's delight that Amber, what's her name? Amber Heard had. Same thing. I think she.
Oh yeah, I'm familiar with her.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even a matter of I think. I'm absolutely convinced she knows she's lying. There's not even a matter of her just getting misinformation out there. Nonsense is willfully lying. It's deliberate. There's no question in my mind about it. But the question then comes up is, why is she putting out deliberate misinformation, and who's giving her that information to put out? Because what she's talking about, we all know, has been thoroughly looked over by many different communities. and they've all said, yes, Uniroc was lying. Katie Joy was lying. Why is she going over this stuff now when the lead work has been done so many times? Why is she bringing this up again? I like this one, Stuart. I'll leave you marooned on a dead stream. Steve, if you guys haven't ever checked out Crenshaw, go check out Crenshaw. He has some amazing videos, and one of the videos he has is like just the cartoon character going, Steve, because everything's my fault for some reason.
Yeah, clearly.
I wish I had that kind of power, right? I was like, damn. I mean, people are like, Steve will have all his flying minions go after people. Really? Really? Can somebody tell me who one of my flying minions is?
Where are they? I don't see them anywhere.
They're not even my mods who I adore. I mean, I've known some of them for a very long time. They'll go ahead, mods. Show me any time I've ever come to you and said, "Hey, I need to do this," and put out this narrative, or "Hey, we need to screw over this person." Go ahead, it's any of it. I just talking to Misty today. I adore her. She's been on for a very long time.
We're gonna leave this threatening DoorDash on one of your contenders. Like, come on, dude.
Let's see.
That's the thing they do to fish out people when they're trying to screw with them. It's like, all right, let's see where they live. Let's see if they get this like pizza that I delivered or something.
Oh, I don't. Hey, if somebody wants to send me a pizza, by all means, man. Yeah, my people can find. Like I said,
I'll eat the fucking pizza as long as no one pissed on it or something.
Yeah, I mean, if people want my address to send me a pizza, I'll put that out. Actually, like I said, everything I have is public, so who cares?
No, don't do that.
Misty said,
always better to have a PO box.
That's probably, yeah. Do you want a pizza delivered to a PO box?
Or your friend's house or something like that. So somewhere away from you. We talked about the whole thing with Boogie. They tried to fish him out by delivering him a pizza.
No, they fit. No, that was actually Tate, Andrew Tate. They fished out with a pizza.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, remember? And the Russian pizza box, that's how they found where he was at to go arrest him.
Huh.
Yeah, go look into that. Misty says,
Steve, I'm okay with people fucking with Tate, because fuck that guy.
Yeah, he's that dude is way off his
He's a fucking monster.
He's a misogynist. But Misty says, Steve, I wonder why Keon came around about a year ago. Again, he came out of the woodwork a year ago. Now he's coming out again, meaning his studying was being nice. Yeah, he was trying to be nice to me. Do you remember he was actually like apologizing and he was trying to suck up to me? And I'm like, oh, hell no. Nope, not a chance. I want nothing to do with Keon.
Like they say in Goodfellas, your killers come to you with smiles.
Yeah, I was like,
just because someone's nice to you initially doesn't mean that they are really trying to give you like honest niceties. That it might just be like a ploy.
100%. Oh, it's a Romanian pizza box. Yes, thank you, April. Romanian. See, I make mistakes. It wasn't Russian. It was Romanian. But if you guys also remember who was adopting Keon, right? Keon was somebody's puppy, right? So Keon was all up on people that I didn't want to have anything to do with Keon, but I never told other people, hey, you can't associate with Keon. I will never tell anybody who can and cannot associate with, because I want people to find it for themselves. If you're hanging out with a shitty person, either one or two things are going to happen. You're going to make find out there.
I totally agree with that. I haven't had a very long career on YouTube, but I never tell anyone who they can associate with, because it's like I only associate with adults, so I expect them to be able to make their own decisions, and that's their choice.
First, they won't listen, right? But there's only one or two things that could possibly happen. One, they eventually find out that person's a shitty person, which, hey, win. Or two, they become a shitty person. Very rarely do people stay in the middle ground for very long. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. It can, but okay. So I'll just put it out as three things that can happen. One, just no change, or they can find out they're a shitty person, or they can become a shitty person, and go from there. If they become a shitty person, then they're probably shitty to begin with. You just didn't see it, right? And that's happened.
As far as adults, like I expect them to figure that out on their own. I'm not going to ever tell them what to do who to associate with. That's their business.
Correct. Yep. I absolutely, and this is why people are like, oh, Molly Go Right Lightly is running Aaron. Are you kidding me? that's first of all, nobody runs Aaron. Second of all, I don't think they've even talked to each other that much. They've had a panel and a few other things, but they're not like buddy. And I don't think she's ever given Aaron anything that maybe was a super chat. But no, Aaron has no loyalty to Molly Golightly, and Molly Golightly has absolutely no say on anything Aaron has yet. That's the narrative that Molly Golightly was running Aaron. Please. Anybody who thinks that does not know Aaron.
It sounds like I have more of a relationship with my dog than they had.
Yeah. It's the only reason she even got involved with that is because she wasn't interested in that story, but she was trying to get to the facts. She saw people on both sides, just going at each other, and Letitia wanted to see her son, and she's like, well, why is people now involved in this, like Katie Joy and Uniroc, which should have nothing to do with any of this? They had no reason to get involved with that.
Don't fuck with anyone's kids, otherwise I'm gonna get angry. That's my policy.
And then Misty also says there is no coincidence that's been through the roughly same time Nat went off steam. Absolutely. Every time Gumby comes around, every time Keon comes around, every time Porkchop comes around, Nat comes around, or at least some version or variation of Nat. I'm still convinced it's the Dread Pirate Roberts thing. There's a lot of people pretending to be Nat. There is an original Nat, and she's still out there, and she might even be sending something to people now. But there's also different variations of Nat, which I absolutely am convinced has to do with Keon and Porkchop. I'm convinced of this.
Potentially, I mean, there's no way to know.
Yeah, I've already showed evidence that Keon has lied in the past. I've already showed evidence that he's faked accounts. Somebody has been telling me that Porkchop pretended to be Nat before. I have no firsthand of that. I'm just going to go with it because the person who told me that I trust. But that is supposition.
Ooh.
That I have to say that's supposition. I've never seen Porkchop pretend to be Nat, but I have seen Porkchop be talk to the Gumby account with a Gumby avatar, which was Porkchop. That I've seen.
I am very high, and now I kind of want pork chops with some applesauce on it. I'm getting hungry.
Was that a Brady Bunch reference? Pork chops and applesauce.
No, I like Brady. Yeah, I like pork chops and applesauce.
I went to school with the guy that was on that show. He played Oliver. His name was Robbie Wrist. He went to my school. Yeah. If you remember Cousin Oliver, the Oliver syndrome. Yeah. I still have him. Yeah, I still have him in Facebook group. But he went to my school when I lived in Northridge because it's all around the Burbank area. Yeah. Fun fact. He used to play with my friends that lived next door, like right next to my house. There's a whole bunch of girls there. And I still talk to them today. They were actually, like I said, when I talk about my babysitters that I know for all my life that on my Facebook, they were my next door neighbors. And again, they played with Robbie Wrist from the Brady Bunch. Fun fact. Interesting, huh? All right.
Yeah, I got my little references here and there too. Like I grew up around Stephen Wright on Somerville.
Oh, I don't watch that show.
Love Stephen Wright.
He
just did an interview on Conan.
Never heard of him. But I do agree with
He's like a deadpan comedian. He always kind of talk like this.
Misty, you are absolutely right. Bull by far was the nicest, kindest person I ever met on YouTube, and probably even in my life. I mean, that
dude, he was a sweetheart.
He had nothing negative to say about anybody. He always tried. And then when he finally spoke out against Katie Joy, you knew he was telling the truth because he'd never talked about anybody, right? He didn't like confrontation. He didn't like the drama.
Yeah, he was never like the confrontational type at all.
Yep.
Like he was always just trying to like, make friends and be nice to everyone.
Did you read what he wrote on Facebook directed at Katie Joy? He was like, you're lying. I was there. This is BS. Why are you doing this? Yeah.
I gave him quite a bit of money because I was trying to help him out when, like, I could tell things were getting tough. And like, yeah, it's pretty shitty for any, like, no one should talk crap about bulls. He was a good guy.
Yeah, seriously, I mean that very, very from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for helping him because we all tried to help him and we all wanted to help him and he got through.
Yeah, we all tried, you
You
know.
know, and even if it's not even financially, I mean, Bull in the middle of the night would call me up, and he wouldn't be in a good place, and we would just have a conversation. And I miss that. I mean, I don't miss him not being in a good place, mentally.
Yeah, so
But
sometimes that late night conversation could be more valuable than money.
yeah, he
You
he,
know,
he was he was a night owl, and he'd be like, it's 3 o'clock in the morning my time or something, 6 a.m. his time or something, and he'd just be like, I just wanted to hang out, kind of stuff. Yes, Kimomaki. I'm always calling Kimomaki if I need some muscle. Yes, absolutely. You're the enforcer of the clan, of the group, of the sex cult.
oh shit.
Yeah, you ever heard about that nonsense is again running the narrative that I have an atheist sex cult.
What?
Yeah,
When did this start? Why was I not invited?
I don't know. That's what I'm finding out. I'm like, God dang, I should really actually start with. There are people that legit want to join a sex cult. I'm like, damn. Yeah, nonsense literally has been saying that Steve goes around trying to slide into young girls' DMs to get them to join his sex cult. And I'm like, first of all, most of the women I talk to are over 30. Let's just get that clear. My preferred range for people that I have any kind of interest with is between 35 and maybe 42. That's kind of my optimal. Yes, that's young compared to me, and I get that. But when people say younger women, I'm talking still late 30s, early 40s. These are adults here, okay? But even then, none of them have ever joined a sex cult. Maybe I need to start trying. Maybe I should take nonsense as advice. I just should slide it into DMs and say, hey, you want to join a sex cult? I don't know what that would entail.
A sex cult sounds like so much work. I'd just be annoyed.
What would it entail other than sex? Obviously, I don't know.
I don't know, and I travel in weird circles where people kind of do that stuff, but it's not like a predatory thing. It's more just like a bunch of fucking weirdos who like to dress up in gimp suits and shit like that.
Yeah, this would all be voluntary. Yeah, I mean, but it's so funny because nonsense was going over the bite model, or going to go over the bite model. I don't know if she did, but she was going to go over the bite model, which I don't think she understands in any way, shape, or form. But cults are generally repressive in their information. They're generally not allowed to question the leader, right? The leader, the person who's in charge of the group, generally has either narcissistic or some kind of psychopathy, where they want to get their narcissistic supply. They're often elitist, very secretive, right? I mean, everything about these.
Yeah, it's the whole idea of that kind of environment is you have to seclude them.
Yeah,
otherwise,
you have to be isolated, right?
Yeah.
You have to actually limit the flow of information to them, and yet when it comes to like my channels, we're the antithesis of that. They're like the black hole of information. We're the white hole of it. We're just like, here, take it. What do you want? Here, get.
The butthole of information.
And of course the cult would be completely voluntary, so it can't be like it's a mind control, because generally when you have a cult, there's psychological things, right? There's alienation of people. There's the threats.
There's usually like a family element to it, that like you have to maintain this or that part of the family. I've known a couple of people that went through that. One of them.
Nonsense claims she's in a cult, and Katie Drake claims she was in a cult. It's like, really? They seem to share a lot of background there. I don't know.
That's kind of once again like the stolen valor thing. It's like, don't take away what these people had to go through. Like,
no,
if people have gone through cults, it's really fucked up. Like, and they're kind of screwed up forever.
Oh, I think so. Yeah, no, I think they have to be, counseled. I think they need therapy, and I think that a lot of people
takes a long time, sometimes a lifetime.
Well, I mean, like when it comes to like nonsense, she might have been. I think her family probably ran the cult. I mean, she comes across as very cult-like, and then she projects that on other people.
Was it like one of those Christian breeding cults?
No, I don't think so. I don't know the details. There's some things she talked about before, and I don't have the details to even go into. Maybe someone else would go into it. But I do know she wants to talk about the night watch.
That's her business, and I of course would not suggest anyone fuck with her over that, because it's like that's something that she has to go through, and like it's that's her.
Yeah, but again, but she's projecting all this on other people. I mean, she thinks that for some reason that nobody can question Steve McRae. Oh God, you don't want to mention the name Steve McRae. He'll come after you with a wrath. I'm like, what the hell are you even fucking talking about? I mean, I'm seriously.
What do you like the guy from Walking Dead? Are you gonna show up with like a baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire?
Nevin, was that Nevin?
I don't really remember. I kind of gave up on the show after
I stopped watching it 2 seasons ago.
After they shit canned Frank Darabont. I was like, don't do my boy Frank like that. Seriously. He handed that show to them on a fucking platter.
The show,
and AMC took a dump at his lap.
The show peaked when they had the barn scene. The barn was the pinnacle of that show. But anyway, sidetrack. Okay, so now Missy says, let me clarify the comment about not going off scene. I have no earthly idea what happened to that girl. There's never been an ending. Sauce was all Twitter says she was prosecuted and nothing. And I think Sauce was misled. I know for a fact that the news piece that was done on Natalie was fake. There was no question about that. And I think that Uniroc knew it was fake. And Uniroc was one of the very few people that even read the news article on it from a fake news organization that allows anybody to go blog and put up whatever you want. It is not a mainstream source. It was poorly written. I think that either Uniroc even maybe wrote it himself or knew who did, because how did he even know about this weird, obscure news article on Natalie that was written so poorly, so grammatically questionable, and at worst, it assumed that the people that would read this would knew something about the story. News articles aren't written like that.
Hold on. My Twitter's being hacked.
Oh, go fix your Twitter.
It's not being hacked. I don't even fucking use Twitter.
I definitely do. And let's see here. What else?
I don't remember the last time I used Twitter, honestly.
I use Twitter
I think it's been like 8 years or something. It's been a long fucking time.
No, I love my Twitter. If you want to get a hold of me, the best way, other than my email, is DM and Twitter. Probably. I don't respond to Facebook messages that much because I get so much spam. So
I know. I'm still gonna annoy you with Facebook messages because that's the platform I use.
Yeah, very. I mean, if I notice somebody like a name that I'll see, but if I miss your thing on Facebook, it's not intentional. But I have been known to not really check my messages and just mark all as read because I don't care. If people that know me know that if you want to message me, the best way to do it is on Twitter. So I'm
gonna send a carrier pigeon with a letter for you.
Yeah, didn't he get put on house arrest? I have no idea. I've never heard of that.
What was it? Carrier pigeon a person?
Curious idea says the only thing I think of is the NXIVM cult. Yeah, and who got involved with that from the NXIVM cult? Oh, that was Uniroc trying to convince Frank Parlato Jr., the guy that broke open the story of the NXIVM cult, that I was a sex cult leader. Him and Exiled and a few other people got together.
Man, if you're a sex cult leader, you're not doing very well at it.
I suck at it. Yeah, no, dude, I admit I am the world's worst sex cult leader. I get this. Okay, I own this. I'm fine.
I am too. I don't want that fucking responsibility. It sounds like a pain in the ass.
Literally, yeah. Well, maybe you're not doing it right then, but. Okay, so
oh God, I stumbled on that one, didn't I?
Or maybe you're doing it right. I don't judge, man. But yeah, so they got a hold of Frank Parlato Jr. Go look him up on Wikipedia, and I reached out to Frank, and I'm like, hey, Frank, did these nut jobs actually really talk to you? Because they're saying that they talked to you, and you're investigating me as a sex cult leader. And he's like, well, matter of fact, they did talk to me, and we had a phone call, a Zoom call, whatever it was. And these are the people there, and Uniroc was lying to him. He's like, "Oh, I don't really have much to do with this, but let me tell you all about Steve McRae," because he's like, "Yeah, you really didn't, instigate the phone call and like that. I think it was Exile, if I'm not mistaken."
Do they think like you and me and people who are friends with you, like we all put on like black hooded robes?
Yeah.
And like, ho,
Yeah.
ho, ho.
Yeah,
We all
literally.
start lighting candles and shit.
Grimly Angly Requiem. Yeah, they do. And so Frank's like, yeah, tell him. He's like, yeah. He's like, look, people message me all the time about investigating them, and I can't do them all, and he doesn't take most of them seriously. He goes, but I was piqued his curiosity, and he watched my videos, and he's like, I found you to be rational and reasonable. I liked your content. And I asked him, hey, you want to come on the show? He's like, yeah, sure. So he had him and I think his wife, who's also his producer or publicist or friend or whatever, somebody was helping him, and we did an episode on sex trafficking, if you remember, on the Non Sequitur show with Jim Jules, who I just talked to yesterday. She's doing well, everyone. She wants me to let everybody know she's doing well. She's sorry she's been so incommunicado, but she did want me
Stephen
to
McRae, Dominus.
she's like, I've been worshiping at the altar of Steve McRae, and I haven't had time to really talk to anybody. So no, but she's been busy. But yeah, so it was them. It was Uniroc that literally tried to attach me to a sex cult that he knows damn well doesn't exist by trying to run this LARP with Frank Perlato Jr. I have the emails. This was proven.
What was that? What was that pizza place that was associated with Hillary Clinton?
Comet Pizza.
Yeah. There was a guy who showed up with an AR-15. Like it's like, come on, man.
Yeah, I know. And Uniroc claimed he busted the Pizzagate story open too. He's so full of shit.
Oh yeah, obviously it's a piece of shit, and like it's very concerning in certain ways because there are actual sex cults that exist.
Sure. Nexie was one of them.
Yeah, I mean, look at what happened in Canada, where they were like, oh yeah, we kind of there's kind of a like thousands of kids that were like molested and put in a pit. Like no, there's real places where you should look out for that. It's not you.
Yeah, well, it was worse. Well, obviously nothing worse than that. I mean, the only thing with the kids, you're just evil incarnate.
They don't really know how many kids died there. But like horrible things.
All the school. Yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah, that's just again, a lot of these were cover-ups and stuff like that. And a lot of them, they didn't want the stain for the church or the churches they're involved with. And I think that's one of those morally disgusting things in the world. I think religion, who condones anything dealing with children and brainwashes them and forces them into a cult-like mentality, I'm gonna have a problem with.
Yeah, I don't think people who are part of the ecclesiarchy have any place around children. I don't think that they can be trusted around them. Not even just like as far as like molestation and stuff like that, but like as far as like hurting them.
Just just make religion 18 enough anymore. I mean, just look, if you want to believe, that's fine, no big deal. I support.
Yeah, same age as your right to vote and your right to own a gun, your right to join the military.
Absolutely.
You're probably right.
Why not? Look, there are some theistic Christian channels out there that I really respect. I like them. So I'm not against Christianity. I'm not against religion. I'm against the harm that some groups of religion and Christianity do, and I don't apply that to the whole by any stretch of imagination.
Like yeah, it's there's some more like moderate religions that tend to be nicer. Like one of my best friends that I've known for 20 years at least is Jewish. He doesn't believe in any deistic philosophy. It's the culture for him.
That's me.
And
yeah, I love Jewish philosophy, Jewish culture.
I love Jewish people. They've always been so nice to me.
Yeah, they've been great. My other next door neighbors when I grew up, they were Jewish, and they had the bar mitzvahs. They had the ceremonies, and yeah, I used to go to some of those events. My parents, yeah.
It's where I learned a lot of Yiddish.
I know Kepala. You know what Kepala is?
Yeah.
What's Kepala?
It's a thing.
Yeah, your Yiddish is great, man. But you know what? Those little remember those?
It was Pakakta.
Pakakta. That's all a shanda for the goyim. Do you remember the little my next door neighbors would have this little mezuzah, this little cylinder thing they'd put on their door, right? And it would have a scroll in there that had a prayer to bless the house, right? You know, like Adonai, Adonai, Ashnei, Shakira, Satanes, De Cristo. Well, we wouldn't have De Cristo because that'd be Catholic, but you know, it was a Jewish prayer that would bless the house. Yeah,
I kind of remember exactly what that was, but not. I couldn't spell it.
Yeah. There you go. So yeah, people got yeah. So yeah, you got it fixed. But you see, that's evidence though. Like Ellie from the Hive was asking for stuff. Yeah, she can go over and watch that video right there. Where I had Frank Parlato Jr. on my channel on Non Sequitur Show, and the reason why I had him on because Uniroc was trying to run a narrative that I did have an atheist sex cult, and he involved in real life Frank Parlato Jr. This is how far they'll go. This is the stuff that they do. They involve real people. Now, do you think for a second that Uniroc actually believed that I had a sex cult? No, of course not. Come on, that's just absurd.
Yeah, he was full of shit. He was lying.
But again, he wanted to cause in real life harm, and he thought it would be funny to get Frank Parlato Jr. to investigate me. But unfortunately for him, Frank Parlato Jr. liked my stuff and ended up being on the show as a guest one time, actually as a co-host, temporary co-host for one episode.
One of the things that I know that are most effective in accelerating like hate towards people, vitriol, things that could endanger them is calling someone a pedo or calling someone, you know, some kind of sex pervert or something like that.
Yeah,
like
well,
they know what they're doing because they know that there's some psychos out there that will go after you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, they put a target on my back for absolutely no reason. I mean, even nonsense to say that, you know, I slide into young girls' DMs. She's not mentioning the fact that the women I talk to are in their 30s and 40s. That's not young. And they really, you know, the funniest part is I only like one girl at a time. I don't play the field. I don't do this shotgun effect where I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna, you know, hit on a bunch of women.
I'm the same way.
Yeah, I can't. I don't have the time or the patience. And true, if they ever found out, they'd all kill you, kind of stuff. But no, I mean, like example, there's only one person that I even remotely consider to be talking to right now, and I have been for quite some time, and we're just friends, good friends. You know, but if I had a chance to take her out, yeah, sure. You know, we might go out one of these days. But I mean, if we do or don't, it's still a friendship that I'm developing and somebody that I actually find entertaining and interesting.
A lot of people misunderstand to when you're just having conversations with people. It's like you don't have to stick your dick in everything that moves.
Yeah,
like a lot of people don't understand that. It's like I can be friends with all kinds of women, and it doesn't mean I'm fucking them.
Right.
Like it's like. Don't reduce it to that.
There are some people down here. Women I do know in real life, but you know that's neither here nor there. But it's like
I'm not saying don't fuck anybody, but I mean like it's like a lot of people make that assumption.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, absolutely. But I mean, like you know, somebody who like is a friend online, you know, you may or may not ever meet them, but you know, it doesn't mean you don't care about somebody. You don't want the best for them, you know.
Yeah.
You Mousy Files. Hi, Mousy. How are you? As soon as I do that, because I got to renew my membership. That's should the sex call. Should I just? Should that's where this be? Should my memberships strictly be for the sex cult now?
I'm Steve's sex cult. He has me locked in his dungeon in my gimp suit right now.
Well, I mean, the Queen Bee's got the hive. Right? Queen Bee's got the hive. Uniroc has Unifam. Maybe I just start. You know, I mean, I talk about the atheist sex cult, but I never really, you know, put anything out there. Like you want
atheist sex cult? Really?
Well, yeah, but we're allowed all kinds. I mean, you don't have to be an atheist to be in the atheist sex cult. No,
I guess
I'm not an atheist. So I mean, how can I have an atheist sex cult? I'm not even atheist, right? You know?
I don't believe in shit. You know me.
It's a new. Yeah, I don't remember why it's called a new hole. I've totally forgot. I was going to look into that. I forgot. Autistic gifted 1 membership. Thank you, Autistic Shill. Peter Harrington. That's a good one. Peter Harrington has been around longer than probably anybody. So if anybody deserves a gifted membership, it's Peter Harrington. Good.
Oh, thank you, Peter.
Well, no, thank you, Artistic Shill, and for Peter, who was hanging in the background, being awfully quiet, so he's probably just listening. Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Shill.
Yeah, thank you much. Yeah, maybe I should do that. I don't know. Like I said, I just haven't had time to work on any of that more fine tuning of a channel. Like, you know how you have to do layouts and thumbs and things of that nature. I don't have the time. It sucks. It really, really sucks. I don't have the time. I have a full-time job that I do that I enjoy.
I can barely manage my fucking emails. Like, I can't imagine having that kind of time.
I don't even check my emails anymore hardly. I peruse through them, but I used to go through and delete the spam and other things. I would just like do it at one big block. I look for highlights if there's anything important. But yeah, I suck at messages nowadays.
I just look at my emails for my receipts for like things that I buy. That's kind of it, because like the rest of it's like junk.
I get a lot of junk. I get because I'm on Academia EDU, so I get all those messages. I got Reddit emails. Or I get Pinterest emails. Grinder. Yeah, all my Grinder folders. Yeah, that's yeah. Don't judge me. Yeah, I said 35 to 42-year-old women. With my men, they're going to be older than me. I would go for an older guy. They got money, So if there's any 50
do you know I'm not gonna judge.
Yeah, dude. If I turn gay, yeah, I'm gonna go for an older guy, man. In bad health. That's gonna be my retirement plan. Yes.
If I'm gonna go gay, I don't see it in the future, but I'm gonna aim high.
Yeah, right. If I'm gonna go gay, I'm gonna aim high. I want some. I would be like going after Hugh Hefner.
I was a Brad Pitt level shit. Like,
oh yeah, well see, you're superficial. I got you. You want somebody like Brad Pitt.
Oh yeah,
Tom Cruise level looks. See, I think that the retirement plan is the better way.
I don't know about Tom Cruise. He's kind of lumpy looking nowadays.
But Peter Harrington, thanks, Statistic Shill, and yes, I know you like to listen. So. All right, but anyways, God, this has gone longer than I even wanted, but. I just wanted to point out that nonsense is back. Just again using my name without using my name. I don't understand why. If somebody wants to leave me in the comment section what they think's going on, I will definitely listen to it and entertain it and get back to them. If they've got a clip or something. But
I'll be sure to open up a Grinder with your face for Steve McGay.
Yeah. Oh,
it's probably already been done.
I tell you, if I actually went gay, there's a few people that I know that would be probably waiting in line because I've had people hit on me for like years, and I'm like, just strictly friends, and they respect that,
Yeah, I'm fine with it. It's not really in the ballpark for me. I just joke.
We moved. Yeah, well, same here. We moved on from the nonsense to atheist sex cult and turning gay, I guess, Mikey. But anyways, what do you guys want to, before I wrap this up, you guys have any questions for any of this stuff? I mean, I know a lot of people are like, why is Steve talking this about these kids? Because I'm like, because nonsense won't shut up about me. And so I'm going to talk about it. That's it. It's a quick scream.
Let's see what they have to say.
Yeah. I'm curious what you guys have to say. Why is nonsense talking about me without talking about me? And why is she bringing up the fundraisers? Again, that we have all long since shown actually spent the money where we're supposed to go because, oh my God, we wanted to help people. We are monsters. We are the worst cult ever when we actually try to raise money.
When's the last fundraiser you even had? I don't even remember any.
Well, the last one I had was for the Katie Joy lawsuit, and every dime went to legal fees and more. I mean, I spent $5,000. Yeah. Not only did I spend, all the GoFundMe, I spent $5,000 more in my own money. On my own money, just through Katie Joy. I'm never going to recoup that. The only thing I can get out of that saying that I have absolute definitive proof that Katie Joy lied, and that's enough. That's what good is a lawsuit that nobody's going to give a shit about that was going to take me probably forever to adjudicate before these other cases because they're going to get all the money. I have what I got. It was worth it because I now have proof that Katie Joy lied in her response. It's there in black and white. For example, her trying to convince people that I lived in her state. That was an absolute lie.
Oh,
That's
and,
something that,
yeah, what was it? Minnesota?
yeah. How is
Yeah.
that not proof she's full of crap?
That's like 1,000 miles away from where you live.
It's probably more than that, isn't it?
It's crazy.
It's over 1,000. Yeah.
It's sizable. Yeah. Yeah. I just,
Yeah, April.
I can't really wrap my brain around that.
Yeah, April. If I'm gonna go full gay, I'm gonna get something out of it. Yeah, I want to be pampered. I want the luxurious lifestyle. I want to be wine dined and taken on trips and stuff because I love to take trips. Right? People know I love going on trips, and so yeah, why doesn't it say take me for a change?
I liked, what's his name? The bald redhead guy. The tall one.
The bald redhead guy. The bald guy with red hair. I think that's kind of a contradiction.
The guy got in trouble because he jerked his dick in front of some chicks. Trying to remember his fucking name.
Kevin Spacey.
Nope. No. Way less egregious than them.
Oh, I don't keep track of that stuff. What was that one? What was that one? Senator Wiener. I'm not even making that up. Remember Senator Wiener? He got caught.
The Wiener's a little more forgivable.
C.K. Lewis. Yeah, my audience knows.
Yeah.
C.K. Lewis.
Yeah, like I don't know. I like the trajectory of his career and his story, and like what happened to him. Like I don't know if you saw his special.
I did.
After the whole the aftermath.
I did.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I love that shit, and I love Louis C.K. I don't give a fuck. He didn't hurt anybody.
Well, there's some issues there clearly, but I'm not.
No, he had some weirdness, but it's not like he was like holding down people and like assaulting them.
Dude, if somebody whips out their junk and sticks it on me, I'm gonna have a problem. In fact, just the other day, I told people that some naked guy from the waist down was like, in the store, and everything was there, in all its glory for everybody to see.
What the fuck?
And I'm like, I don't need to be looking at this. What? Why am I staring at this? And it's just like, oh God. I was like, you gotta go.
Yeah, go blue 10-4.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to have a special code for naked man in store. That's how bad it's gotten. And we don't even live in Florida. In Florida, I'm sure they got codes for all this, right? You hear, we have a code D in electronics, code D electronics. But we might have to get something like that in California now.
VizCon, neutralize something.
Now everybody would going to feel like they're going to hear the term code D. They're going to know exactly what they're talking about this particular stream. We have a code D, gentlemen. Code D. You've been training for this all your life. Look away.
Sit rep.
But yeah, like I said, I'm not a big fan of Louis C.K., but I like who I thought was funny was when the guy that was
no, I remember why I was bringing him up because his part of his one of his setups where he was like, I wouldn't mind having a boyfriend. He puts his code on me. It's all big.
Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't mind being a little spoon. I mean, if I'm going to be gay, I would be the little spoon. I like to have something around me and wrapped and secure. But but Chris Rock, his stand-up comedy after the whole slap incident, that was brilliant. That was absolutely brilliant. So
Will Smith just slapped the shit out of me,
and he took it like a champ. And then he
did. He wasn't an asshole about it. Like, he could have filed charges, and he didn't.
I think he should.
Because he was just like, oh, yeah, clearly Will's going through something.
I really think that he shouldn't. I really think he should have filed charges. But Chris Rock did what he did best, comedy. He eviscerated Will Smith verbally, and it was good. It was.
Oh, he rocks the stage whenever you put him on. Chris Rock's like a champ.
Yeah. Jeff, you're always here, regardless of what we're talking about. You like the Katie Joy Uniroc streams. But again, I'm trying to wrap this up. I just want to know if anybody has any things they want me to address. Because I always say to people, ask me questions, and then my audience doesn't ask any because they already know the answers to anything. Because all the new people, they're asking me in private, but they really don't ask me anything in public, and it's fine. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind that. Come to me in private or public, it doesn't matter. But I have a lot of people right now asking me stuff, and I'm just wondering if anybody wants to ask me anything public. That way it gets out to more people because I'm an open book. I just really.
Do you want to know about Steve's hairline?
Oh yeah, I get. For some reason, Nonsense still thought I had my long hair, and I'm like, what? I cut that off a year ago. It's been over a year, I think. So it's like, yeah, it's been over a year.
It's fucking nonsense. It's like, dude, you're like, come on, man. Like,
and no, Mikey, I don't think they will, and I don't think they want to. It's not about learning to keep my name out of their mouth. It's that people are going to Nonsense, telling her to talk about me, but not talk about me. There's no way in hell, out of all the stuff Uniroc has done, why she's bringing up stuff that involves my name. But I will give Nonsense credit.
Well, I know why, but yeah.
Well, why?
Is what the fuck else do they have to talk about?
No, there's more detail. It has to be more than that. But I will give her credit. She's not letting Uniroc get away with spinning stuff. So even Uniroc spinning stuff when he spins. Oh my God, we try to do this with a tongue twister. Even Uniroc, who spun stuff with me, she's even calling that out, which I don't know why. She's doing the same thing when he spun stuff with Katie Joy. She's calling that out. So it's
I can't wait for them to come after me.
Well, hang on.
They'll figure out who I am eventually.
Katie Joy and Nonsense originally had some ties, and I think she's trying to turn on Katie Joy a little bit too. It sounded like she was very aggressive with Katie Joy. She knows Katie Joy has done some shady stuff. Uniroc has done some shady stuff, and I think that she was in league with all of them, and now she's trying to basically become head bitch. She wants to be the bottom bitch of that group and wants to be the one person that's doing all the shady stuff that the other people were doing, but projecting on anybody else because she's literally doing Katie's and
the new jefe.
Yeah, it's a hostile takeover. I think she wants to be Uni Beck 2.0 or Uni Joy Beck. We're going to just call her Uni Joy Beck, the unholy trinity. Because what else reason is there? She's doing the exact same thing Uniroc does and Katie Joy does. 100%. There's no difference. How is it she can put out misinformation and tell people not to challenge her? Oh, we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to challenge me on that. Oh, don't ever talk to those people. They'll just go in real life on you. That's seclusion. That's part of the bite model, by the way. That's isolationism.
Oh God! That's not good at all. Like,
yeah. When you eschew critical thinking and you just throw it away and you tell people, look, I'm giving you all the facts. Just believe me. There's a problem because if you don't have the evidence, even in private, there's an issue. I always tell people, look, if you don't believe me, here's the evidence. However, there are some things I'm just going to have supposition on. Believe me, don't believe me. I don't care. I'm not trying to convince you. That's different. If I'm not trying to convince you of anything, who the shit cares? Okay, if Becky says, hey, Steve's this, and that, she's not trying to convince anybody of it, whatever. But when she makes a factual statement that I know is wrong, why do I not have a right to go and say, look, Becky, you're incorrect on this. I'm not going to talk to her directly, but to my audience, and they'll go, hey, yeah, Nonsense was wrong on this. Like, for example, her saying that I helped Erica get an RO. Okay, where's the evidence for this? I have all the evidence that I didn't, and I will show it to anybody who wants me to in private right now, and maybe public.
I mean, it would give them an up, honestly, like just be like, yeah, this is bullshit, and I feel bad that I was putting out false information.
Yep. Yeah. Well, yeah, Uniroc stupidity is now a legendary. I mean, it's gotten out there that the dude really is dumb as hell. That's not an act. He is stupid. I know that for a fact because I mean,
I know he's a fucking liar because we talked about his stolen valor stuff.
Yeah, that's a given now. I mean, we know he lied about that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You cannot have three conflicting stories. And he calls that vet bashing. Dude, I'm a vet. How am I bashing a vet I'm calling out for literally stealing valor? Who's something he by the way accused me of. He accused me of stealing valor, and yet I have all the evidence of my my actual participation in
Yeah,
6 years in the
you
Navy.
you were a nuke tech. You graduated from one of the hardest academies to come out of.
I was class of
Like
80
it, like
88.
yeah,
I have my class number. I was class of 80 88. I graduated the entire pipeline. I have my Westpac books. I have people on my Facebook page that served with me. Go ask them. They have all the details. And yet he said, "Oh, Steve wasn't an actual nuke. He was a boiler tech or something." Bullshit. You can see the freaking rank and rate on my arm. You can see I was part of M1 division in my Truxton book, which was my Westpac book, which was a nuke division. I the only thing I really wish I had was all my notes from A school.
yeah. That's not easy shit. That's not grunt work.
No, this was highly technical stuff. We are the math and the equations we used were quite complex. If you go look up startup rate equation or 6-factor formula, that's the stuff that we had to know to operate a nuclear power plant, or at least be proficient enough to understand how the reactor operates. And so for him to think that it has to do with boiler tech, yeah, I am accusing him of stealing out valor. I'm straight up saying he lied 100%. He either got
Yeah, yeah. We went over it on the last show that I did with you. Like, come on, man, don't fucking lie about your service. Like, it's okay if you were like shoveling shit in Afghanistan or like recovering Rex Humvees or whatever. It's still a job. Just don't lie about it.
But he did. He absolutely did. We know he did. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. I am 100% absolutely categorically knowing for a fact he lied, because you cannot have three conflicting statements. You either got injured in Iraq, you either got injured in Iran or Afghanistan, or you were healed out in a chopper thing, or on a training accident. He said he was medevaced out. And he says he's medevaced out of Afghanistan, medevaced out of Iraq, and it was an IED. But his first story was it was a parachute trooping accident. All those cannot be correct. And
So does he have shrapnel injuries? Like where's the evidence?
there's none. No, he's never showed any. He showed a redacted TD-214 that doesn't show anything. That some people.
I told you how much this angers me too, because like I know people are really, really fucked up from coming back. So it's like don't say that.
Yeah, well, it angers a lot of people in the military, and this is what I'm saying. He's just defending himself by saying it's vet bashing. It's not. By the way, if you guys want to look at the, that's the startup rate equation that we had to learn, and then which is a very simple equation, but this is our main stuff that we actually did. Now, yes, this is a more advanced version on Wikipedia. We didn't have to get to know the math that detailed, but the 6-factor formula dealing with K effective. We have the thermal fission factor, the thermal utilization factor, the non-thermal, thermal non-leakage probability, and then the fast fission factor. These are all how you figured out whether your K effective was going to be equal to 1, less than 1, or greater than 1.
Yeah, they taught you how to fix the flux capacitor.
Yeah, well, there's a neutron flux. That is true. But the neutron flux has to do with what's called the buckling of the reactor, which is the geometric shape. So you have the neutrons going to be absorbed by not just the fuel, but it's going to be absorbed by fuel impurities and also to the structural components of the reactor itself, as the moderator, the water, the boron.
Yeah, you don't want the pipes corroding and stuff.
Yeah, well, we had to do that too. We had to study chemistry because of what's called carbon pipe impingement. So we had what's called crud traps that would lead to corrosion of the piping. Then you had copper pitting. You had scoring. You had we had to do the actual test of the pipes where we would take the inner diameter and the outer diameter. That would give us the wall thickness. And if the wall thickness had been worn down to flow, that pipe had to be replaced. So that had to be checked a lot. We didn't want a blowout. If you got steam going through a pipe, you want to make sure that pipe is able to carry it, right? And so,
once again, like I said on the last show, you don't want to get your face fucking burnt off. It's like a pretty important thing to maintain.
Yeah, you really don't. And it was funny, as I know we're off topic and I don't care, but that's welcome to my channel. Superheated steam is even more potent than saturated steam. Saturated steam is what you're used to. When you have like a tea kettle and as steam come out, what happens is the water will do a phase change. It'll do what's called latent heat of vaporization. It's all that energy you're putting in to raise the temperature goes into a phase state change. It changes this lattice structure, changes the molecular structure of the water molecules bonding together. And so it gets more loose. It's able to be carried away as steam. And the superheated steam is steam that is much higher temperature than what the pressure and volume allow for. This type of steam will cut through a piece of metal. It'll act as like a surgical.
I don't know personally, but I've heard.
Yeah, this is a true story. If you had a pinhole leak in a pipe, the way you're supposed to find that pinhole leak is one, it will generally leave a plume on the other side. I've never seen this personally. This is how we're trained. But it'll leave a plume on the other side of the bulkhead because once that superheated steam hits the bulkhead, it's now decreased its temperature where the water is going to come out of the steam and form water droplets. So it's cooled enough to not be superheated any longer. But if you took a broom handle and you kind of put it over the pinhole where the superheated steam coming out, it'll just slice the broom handle. That's how you detect the leak.
Yeah, it's gonna cut right through it like an acetylene torch or something.
Yeah, it's super, super deadly, man. I didn't like. There was only like maybe a couple parts of my ship that had superheated steam, and then I worked at a biomass steam plant that had superheated steam, and I'm like, never again. Steam is bad enough. You're gonna get burned. Don't get me wrong. And I've had steam burns, many, many, many steam burns, but I would not want to mess.
90% of my body is covered in like burn scars. I'm pretty familiar.
Yeah, you get the nice discoloration, and then it just kind of heals as a scar over many, many years. Most of mine have faded. I've got one or two.
Sort of. I don't really feel anything anymore.
Yeah, I'm literally looking at my arms, but I'm tan. Yeah. And I was like, "What are you doing?" I'm not. Are you flexing? I'm like, no, I'm not even on camera. Do you see any scars? No. I don't. Most of them have healed.
I've been in a lot of fuel burns and chemical burns and stuff like that. So like this is like most of my body is kind of covered in scars at this point. I really can't feel anything.
Okay, I have a burn right here that I can see on my wrist. I'll show you that guys later. I do have a burn scar there, and I remember my finger got burned. But anyways, let's compare battle wounds here. Yeah, that I remember that too. Uniroc, a lot of people may not remember, but Uniroc got all butthurt that William Shatner had retweeted one of my tweets, and which he does a lot of.
That was hilarious.
And then he's like, "Oh yeah, I got William Shatner to come on, the show." And so he put a link on his YouTube channel saying, interview with William Shatner. And William Shatner said, "I don't know this dude." And first of all, William Shatner doesn't do interviews; he doesn't do podcasts. When he does, it's very far and few between.
Yeah, it's like not his thing. Like he does like cons and stuff once in a while, and he does like some like occasional cameos. But it's like he doesn't want to be fucked with. Like he doesn't want to be bothered.
Yeah, and he reported that to YouTube, and they did nothing. He's like, this person's using my name and saying that he has an interview when he doesn't have. That's what Uniroc does. It's all people use the term clicks and views. It absolutely applies to Uni. All the people that are out there doing things for clicks and views, when most of them are not, we're just talking about stuff. He does it for clicks and views. He has to get those clicks and views for vape juice. That's the only reason why he puts out misinformation, because it's profitable to. That's the only. Well, okay, I should say the only reason. It's the main reason. The other reason is he gets jollies off of it. He's an absolute sociopath. He likes putting out misinformation and smearing people. He literally enjoys it, but he also profits from it. And I think that's what finally people are learning. Some people are out there going now, hey, look, any community he goes to, we're going to let that community know. And I made the same promise to you guys that I would stop talking about him, right? But I would never, ever forget what he did. And I didn't want him going to other communities and doing what he did. And so I did what I thought was right. I went to another community and said, this is what he's always done. That's it. And I want them to continue that practice. I want them to, wherever Uniroc goes, remind them what Uniroc did. not just to Queen Bee, but to myself, to Leslie Bass, to Tina, to Aaron, to all of them, to
I
Red
mean,
Forever.
this would be so much easier for them if they were honest. Like, all you have to do is everyone makes mistakes, you know? Like, everyone's a dumbass on the internet
But these are not
here and
mistakes.
there,
These are
but like,
willful. These are willful deceptions.
just be honest about it.
But when you say you have an interview with William Shatner, that's clearly a clear deception. This is
Well,
again.
that's bullshit. Don't fuck with Captain Kirk.
So let me ask you this, Rod.
That's when I start to get angry.
So Rod, let me ask you this: the people that stuck around Uniroc until this last kerfluffle, how do they justify him lying about all that stuff? They signed off on all that behavior. Now the ones that have left, they signed off on everything that has been done. Oh, excuse me, the ones that are left, they have signed off on everything and still there. Dr. Misha Griffith is still a mod of his. She's still signing off on Uni's behavior and trying to defend him, even though we know for a fact that he lied about all this stuff. It's not a matter of, oh, let's show that Uni lied.
I would honestly assume that a lot of them are potentially underage or drunk.
No, I don't think so. I think that
or on drugs or something.
no, I think you're wrong. I think what it is he literally finds the most sociopathic people, and then he just cultivates them. He finds the people that don't care.
Oh, hi blue apple. I see you.
Misha Griffin doesn't care. There's no way she can care. She has a PhD in history. She's not a dumb woman. So either she absolutely knows Uniroc is trolling and lying and signing off on it, or I hate to say it, but she has to be one of the dumbest people on the planet with a PhD. And I find that to be difficult to swallow. That you can be you can have a PhD in history, but not see historical revisionism happening right in front of you. So if that's the case, if I have to assume that Dr. Griffith is intelligent, which I always thought she was, I took a liking to her. That could only mean one other thing. She approves of Uni's trolling, signs off on it, and enjoys the fact that he harms people. That's the only explanation. If you guys have another explanation, I will listen to you.
I see what you're saying. Because some people really do seem to get some joy out of that stuff.
Right.
I don't get it at all.
I don't know. Bye. Good night, Jeff. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever enjoyment Misha is getting by being his mod and trying to defend him and signing off on the fact that we absolutely categorically know he does this just to lie to people for clicks and views.
I would never want to support anyone that I don't agree with. That's like, why would you do that?
She has to enjoy she has to enjoy people being harmed. That's the only way I can wrap my head around it. Again, I'll listen to ideas, but there's only, to me, seem to be two major possibilities. Either one, she's dumber than shit for not seeing it, or she does see it and doesn't care. I mean, what other options are there? And again, there might be. I'm not saying that's a dichotomy. I just at my state of mind right now, I can't really think of any really serious options.
You know? Yeah, I mean, it's kind of impossible to know because, I've known a lot of very educated people that are dumb as shit.
That's true.
So that's true. Education isn't like the pinnacle.
But this was her field. This is history. You're a historicist, an expert in history, not recognizing historical revisionism. I find that to be weird. That's like a PhD in physics telling me that the Earth is flat. It's like, God damn, what the hell happened to your education along the line?
Yeah, that does sound odd.
It is. It's really odd.
Like, you should know. You should know a little better. Like, if you're that educated.
Yeah. And watch people be like, "Oh, Steve's shitting on Misha Griffith." Yes, I am. I am shitting on her. Because she's a horrible human being to be supporting Uni. I'm sorry.
You're maybe people view it as you shitting on her. He's shitting on the academy that she came from with her fucking stupidity. Come on.
Mikey Cage sums up perfectly. He says, everyone likes a little drama. Yeah, I think a lot of us, have some interest in, maybe minor drama stuff. Sure. I mean, yeah, we're all human. Okay, I get that. But when it's affecting people's real life, that's bullshit and no longer entertainment unless you're a sociopath. And that's absolutely true. And who's the one that called Frank Perlotto Jr. and talked to him? Who was in that group? Now, it wasn't Uni who initially contacted him because he avoided that with the plague. He had somebody else do this dirty work, but he was absolutely in a Zoom call with, or it was either Zoom or Meet, whatever. But it was a video call with Frank Pilardo Jr. telling him that I had run an atheist sex cult. That's real life. That's a sociopath. Can anybody justify that? Can anybody? And then you have AZ running with it. And now you have nonsense running with it.
I am part of the sex cult, so I can confirm that.
Well, what color are your robes, by the way? What robes? You're like, who has robes? It's a sex cult. We don't have robes. No, you got to have something. Yeah, I liked Dr. Griffith too until she showed her true colors, and she just shat on me for no reason and started to prop up Uniroc and his lies and shill for him. I'm like, wow, this is disgusting. This is so beyond disgusting that somebody that with such an academic standing just shat her, her reputation all over the place. The only people that respect Dr. Griffith now are the trolls. That's it. That's it. I don't know anybody on this side of the fence that knows the whole story, that knows that Katie Joy and Uniroc are such pieces of shit. I don't think any of them have any respect for Dr. Griffith. She still mods for him. I mean, how? Please explain this to me. Kiwamaki is a new hole. Yay, new hole.
We'll see how long that lasts.
She's been a mod for him for years now. Years.
We'll see. These things don't always last forever.
Dude, she's been around longer than Navy Tex. And Navy Tech split. And even Navy Tech said he had enough, even though he's the one that's signing off on all Uni's bullshit behavior for the last few years. But he didn't want the shit covering him because Uni fucked up so egregiously that he just cannot spin his way out of it. Every time he tries to even try to, it makes it worse. And so what he's going to have to do is find new people and then forget this ever happened. He's going to eventually move on to new content and try to forget this ever happened. But he's got the JLR lawsuit looming over him. He says he has a lawyer. We all know for a fact that he's lied about Kyle.
Oh yeah. Yes. We talked about that as well. His high-powered attorney, Ron Schleusman.
His familiar attorney that we have no evidence exists. Other than
his fucking name.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, though. He has to respond. I think it's within. I'm guessing here. My mods will probably know more, but I think it's 28 days in Ohio, if I'm not mistaken, to respond to a complaint that's been filed. Now, the complaint, as I understand it, has been filed in Ohio court, which means from that date, he has 28 days to do a pro se response or to have an actual attorney. If he does it pro se, obviously, again, we know he lied about having an attorney. If he has an attorney and it's a man attorney, there's some questions, even though he can say, well, they haven't.
I mean, if he's filing a public civil suit, the attorney will be
on record.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kimamaki.
So it's like you can look that up.
Okay, next time. I always like Blue Apple has been coming around panels lately, and I got to tell you, it's nice to have some new voices. So if you ever do a panel and Blue Apple Pie comes up, yeah, absolutely.
It was happy to have Blue Apple come by. We had a lot of fun.
I know what I was going to mention on. Oh my God. There was something else that was going on that I wanted to make note of, and I want to think about it before I close this. And it was, it had to do with the lawyers. Yeah. Here's another thing. Uni says he's going to file a countersuit on what? On what? What possible thing does that
mean you had to file a suit first and then?
No, you can do a countersuit after the first suit, but in order to have a lawsuit, you need, if it's not pro se, defamation per se, you need damages, which clearly he has none. Two, JLR never talks about him. JLR did nothing to him. What possible thing does he have to file a countersuit? I would love to see that countersuit, and that costs a lot of money. That's going to cost him several thousands of dollars.
Yeah, that's like litigation is very expensive. Like if you're gonna do it, you have to have a good reason, and you have to be prepared to take a hit.
Yeah,
like it's not gonna be easy. Like even if you're in the right.
Yeah, I think. Hang on, Ellie's right here. The judge has to determine whether JLR is a public figure or not. And there's two things on this. One, JLR is pretty well known as far as I mean, I never heard of him recently, but I guess he's well known for vexatious litigation. He has, he has a wiki page. So in that regard, at the very least, he'd be a limited public figure. So I mean, I think there's a good chance he could be viewed as a public figure, but just because it has a wiki page doesn't necessarily mean that he is. It's up to the judge to determine. However, even if he is determined to be a public figure, I think he has a good case for malice. And one of the most damning things that Jason has done is he's continued to talk about him after he got a cease and desist. That shows malice. He's screwed himself over hard on doing that. And any lawyer with his salt or her salt would have told him, do not talk about JLR. Do not talk about this case. Every single lawyer in the world would have told him. My lawyers told me the same thing, but they also said, we understand this is a special situation. This is unique. And this is what you do.
They're going to get you in trouble.
Right. But they would withdraw. My lawyers were very careful. And they did tell me, look, we understand, but these are things that you don't want to talk about. And I said, yeah, that's fine. But for Jason, his lawyer, there's no possible way his lawyer did not tell him, you need to have a complete blackout. You need to stop talking completely. There's no way a lawyer did not tell him that.
Like, it's not a bad idea when you're going through stuff like that to not send text, emails, not post on Facebook, anything like that.
I agree. And I think April's right. Most of the countersuits are BS. But this is the greatest thing that I got out of the Katie Joy lawsuit. I had her file a countersuit, or she didn't file it, but I had her draft a countersuit, and it was comically bad. And that, dude, you got mic noise. He's like, I'm like that. That in itself demonstrates the depth of Katie Joy's. Are you okay?
I don't think she gets what could potentially happen to her.
Well, we're still following the 3M case. So that still has to play out. That's nowhere near over. Ellie also says, I don't think JLR has a case. It's not a strong case. But it is a case. I mean, I think it'll get through initial. It won't be like thrown out due to like a slap or anything like that. It has merit, but it's very, very minimal merit. And JLR, to prove his case, is going to have to do a lot of discovery.
I'm definitely in the position where, as a lifelong criminal, don't incriminate yourself. Don't stop fucking around.
There's a reason why there's a Fifth Amendment too. I mean, there's a reason why you don't want to have self-incrimination, because, and I do believe this. Every time a cop interviews for something, they're going to start with the premise that you're a bad guy. Period. They're never there to help you. They're never there to get information to help themselves with your, good intentions. No, they will screw over anybody to get information and lie to people. I'm absolutely convinced of this. I mean, that doesn't mean there's not.
Well, they have a quota. Like, I've seen it, I've experienced it plenty of times. It's like, don't fuck around with the cops. Like, they're gonna, like, whether it's red or not, they're gonna find some way to get you.
Yeah,
if you give it up.
And even statements you make in sincerity, if you trip over yourself or you forget a detail, that's going to pique their curiosity. The best thing, I think, is never talk to police at all, unless it's something that you have.
That's one thing I will definitely repeat to your audience: never talk to the fucking police.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that too. I mean, obviously, if you're a victim. I get there's maybe some.
Well, yeah, if someone's coming to fucking kill you or something, that's different. But for the most part, don't talk to the cops, because it just makes everything worse.
Yeah, especially if they're if they think that you've done anything, first thing you do is get a lawyer, or you do not want to talk.
If you have like mental illness or something like that, like, cops are not going to treat you well.
Nope.
Like, they have no idea how to deal with that.
And when they are trained for it, they still screw it up. Matter of fact, I watched this really gut-wrenching video. I do watch a lot of these cop videos, and I watched this one video. It was gut-wrenching. There was a teenage girl. She was like 18, and they invited her down to interview on something they wanted to get her statement on at the police office. And while she was at the police office, they tried to confiscate her phone. They might have had some legalities.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
They might have had some legalities to be able to get her phone. However, just because they take her phone doesn't mean they can have access to the phone. They still would have needed a warrant to access the phone, but they had every right to ask for the phone if it was part of an investigation. That part is true. If it's something that would be exigent, it could be easily deleted. I think they had a right to the phone, and I think that the 18-year-old was wrong on that. But the way they treated her, and the way they arrested her, and the way they hurt her, that was evil.
They were fucking dickheads to her.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I saw that.
And that's
it's like, come on, like she didn't do anything.
But that perpetuates the cycle of hate. She already didn't trust cops, and now she's going to trust cops even less. You know?
Yeah, I've talked about how I come from a respectable family where my grandfather was one of the highest rated cops in around Boston, and it's like, don't fucking disgrace my grandfather's place, what he did.
Yeah, no, I'm saying
a guy who never shot a suspect. He never even drew a gun at a suspect. It's like, don't fucking, like, these fucking cowards who have to act like this.
I think it's a newer generation of police officers. I think they're all like, they get the Gen Zs and the millennials that are coming up, and I think they have it. They're just they want to feel empowered. And again, I think it was a terrible decision to say that cops could lie in an investigation. That just destroyed people's trust.
Yeah. They feel empowered. They can feel empowered with my fucking dick in their ass. Like, seriously, like, come on. Like, don't disgrace my family's legacy.
And here's Blue Apple Pie saying, always ask for a lawyer, even if it's just a witness. Yeah, I mean, ask for a lawyer. Get yourself a public defender or whatever, but don't answer questions. It's just, again, here's the funniest part. It's not even because of the criminals. The criminals, they're gonna get their a trial.
Well, you got criminals that definitely have to be dealt with.
Yeah, listen, but it's the innocent people that need a lawyer more than the criminal, because the innocent people are the people that are going to get railroaded by cops who just need a tick. They just want to win. They don't care about the facts. At least a lot of them don't. I'm not saying all of them, but there are police officers that all they want to do is screw over anybody, and they will look at you like you're a criminal regardless. And so if you're a person who knows you're absolutely innocent, you need a lawyer more than the criminal does. The criminal can, if he has to defend himself, he can. But if they're trying to railroad you,
look at Bill Cosby. And how many people do you think have the attorney power that he had?
And he was found guilty because he wasn't innocent at all.
Oh, he was definitely not innocent. But they fucked up on the technicality, but he would have just been in jail forever if he didn't have the kind of money.
Yeah, I think so. I think it should have got a lot longer. Absolutely, and should have been still in jail.
Oh no, they should have buried him under the prison. He was obviously guilty.
But look at Donald Trump. Donald Trump was just found liable in civil court.
he's so much stupider than Cosby.
Yeah, I mean, even Simpson was found liable in civil court because criminal court, was too late for whatever, or they, double jeopardy or whatever the reasons why you couldn't be retried, and why Donald Trump had statute of limitations or whatever it was. He was sued civilly, and that it was found liable.
I moved on her.
Actually, so funny.
Oh my god, it's so pathetic watching how he approached women.
Yeah, he
and
didn't
stuff
testify.
like that. You short dick motherfucker.
Yeah, he didn't even try to defend himself, and so the only thing the jury heard were clips from prior stuff, and of course
he was saying shit about the prosecutor.
Yeah, well, he was again.
He was like, I don't think I would even give you a chance. I was like, wow,
so narcissistic. It's like, and he's like, saying that he get any woman he want, blah blah blah, and yet, when you have the when you have the jury only listening to what Trump has said about women and other things like this, of course they're going to convict. His lawyer didn't have a chance because think about Trump's lawyer. Trump's lawyer had two options. One, let him testify or not let him testify. These are the only two possible options.
I would have kept him away from testimony of any kind because he's so you can't trust him not to incriminate himself
And that's the problem.
continually.
That's the problem. Listen, his lawyer had two roads, both of them shitty. The first road was not to let him testify and just go by all the shit that he said before, which it was going to bite him in the ass, or to let him testify, which would only make matters worse because what is he going to say to defend himself because it's Trump. So yes, I think that they did the right option by not wanting him to testify, but he was screwed either way.
Yeah, I just I don't know if it would be possible to tell him from his lawyer's his perspective that it's like you probably shouldn't talk, and that like every time you talk,
well, people are noticing this. They're like, "Who's your lawyer, man? Your lawyer's either an idiot or you don't have a lawyer." I mean, I don't think for a second
they're dealing with a nightmare.
Here's the thing. Anybody who's not asking Uniroc for receipts for his legal things, you're at this point enabling him. You're part of the scam, because everybody came to me and asked for my receipts on my legal stuff, and I showed them. I didn't give them the Uniroc because it could piss off, but anybody else, especially anybody who donated, I showed them all my receipts. I made them public subsequently. They're all public now. But I mean, my bank records that attach to those accounts, I have all that too. People that's ever came to me has seen them privately. I don't need people like digging through my finances. There's nothing to hide, but it's none of their fucking business. That's all. Other than that, I couldn't care less. It's just none of their business. That's it. But if you come to me in private, I'm happy to show you anything you want. I'll show you my accounts. And I never said I was broke. I have some money, but it's set aside. It's money that I don't touch.
I think their goose might have been cooked at this point.
Maybe.
Maybe not now, but in the future. Not by course of action of me or you or anyone else who liked you, but
karma. But Curious Idea is right. Right to remain silent. That's why you shut the fuck up. And it's always like, I have the right to remain silent, but I didn't have the ability. That's Uniroc, right? He has the right to remain silent, but he doesn't have the ability to do so.
Do what?
Don't you remember
thing?
Yeah. That was what was that? Ron White. I think it was Ron White when he was like, I think it was during the skit where he was talking about being drunk in a bar, and he gets thrown out of the bar through the window. And he gets arrested for being drunk in public. And he's like, but I wasn't drunk in public. I was drunk in the bar. And then they threw me out of the bar. Go arrest them.
I'm very familiar with Ron White. I saw him live at the Wilbur.
He's funny. He's the funniest of all the Redneck tour. I loved Ron White. That dude is hilarious.
It wasn't my favorite show I saw at the Wilbur. Sinbad. That was my favorite. That guy he puts his work in.
Yeah, Sinbad's funny. I also a huge fan of Fluffy, Gabriel Iglesias.
Oh yeah, I love Fluffy. I think I saw him at the Wilbur too.
Yeah, he's funny. He's really funny. But yeah, that was Ron White. I had the right to remain silent. I just didn't have the ability.
The tater.
Yeah. All right, guys. I'm going to wrap it up. So thanks, Rod, for joining me. And everybody else was a little busy, but that's fine. But I got what I wanted out. By the way, I've noticed people aren't leaving comments as much. I'm surprised. Please leave a comment if you listen to this either in the after the fact or during. Leave a comment on the video.
It's early in the day for a lot of people. They'll leave comments. Yeah, it was glad to accompany you.
Yeah, I'm wondering though if you're allowed to leave a comment before it renders, because I've noticed I only started getting comments like after a period of time, and most of my videos have been getting the yellow demonetization thing, which is fine. I've submitted reviews for all of them. One came back confirmed, but the rest
we'll have to see. I swore a couple of times. Maybe that will affect it, but you should do okay.
Yeah, I don't know if they can comment prior to it rendering or until it gets for example, I don't know if the videos are even being promoted, why it has a little yellow sign, because most of my views they don't have monetization, while that yellow thing goes on. So it's like all my views happen, and I don't get any monetization out of that, unfortunately. Which is par for the course. Welcome to YouTube, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it.
Anyways,
Yeah,
what is
you have a good one though.
I thank
Always
you,
a
buddy.
pleasure, Steve.
Thank you, bud. I'm gonna before I leave here, Misty. What is it? Before you go, I have been here. Just got busy. What's up? Yeah, yeah. No, I meant a comment. It's Jeranism. Yeah. I hope that's a parody of Jeranism, not Jeranism himself. Um, a comment on the video. Yeah, get it, Jeranism, the flat Earth guy. I hope that's a parody account of Jeranism.
I hope.
What is it, Misty? You got me here for another few minutes. My voice is going.
Yeah, what's in your go?
Because she said, hold on. Before you go, sure. I've been here. Oh, okay. Just let me know if she's there, I think. Well, like I said, got questions, let me know. I'm going to take a nap, though. It's my last day off before I start go back to work. I had 2 days off in a row, and my second day. When I get up, I'll look at the comments and let you guys know. But, yeah, I'm going to head out. All right. All right. Thanks, Rod. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah. Have a good night.
Good night, man. All right. How do I do this now? Do this.